Oh, I never muted myself. I wonder if I was like saying weird random shit while warming up the stream. Oh, that might be embarrassing. Oh well. All right. Think we're good. Coffee's set. The fans are on. The fans are on at like 8:30 in the goddamn morning. It's wild, man. What is up, everyone? This is Coffee with the Soul. I'm your host. We're gonna chat. We're gonna talk. The raid went fantastical last night. I was very pleased with everyone's performance, and I even got drops. It was amazing. Oh, it's out of the way. And we're gonna do Brewfest stuff. That's gonna be, today's gonna be one of them typical vibe streams. We're just gonna like do stuff and chat in the meantime. Y'all can just hang out, dip in, dip out, however you like, do your own thing, while I do my own thing too, and just chill. And then of course we'll be on the lookout for like any new stuff that happens to drop. It's still 6 days until the new month. I'm sorry, a week until the new month. But there's no telling if there's going to be like a kind of early preview of the trading post stuff that's going to come out. It might be next week. It can be this week. We'll just keep an eye out for it. And when that happens, then I'll, as usual, do like a bunch of quick reactions, take a look at the previews, and be like, all right, dude, we're gonna save, what we're gonna spend. How's that gonna work out? Because I remember, like, we were talking about it a little bit yesterday. That with all those appearances that we see with like the different transmog sets and the different models of mounts and all that, like that stuff is very cool. But there's no telling if we are going to see all of that just be dumped out at once, or if that's going to be like, okay, this year we get this color, and then next year it's going to be this color. It's going to be something like that, and it could very much go that way. And I'm sure some people will not be pleased by that, but oh well. Let's give a hearty hello to the folks who are joining us early this morning. What's up to Puddle Jumper, to Rumus and Darth and Walknarf? Hi. Hope everyone's doing all right. Hope your loots were merry. Some of you guys are guild mates, so loots were like, I think they were pretty merry. I happened to very, very luckily get the bootsies, and I lucked out because there was quite a few plate in our raid. But by the time we got to the, we went through, I went through Raid Finder. So here's the quick story. I did a Raid Finder off stream, and I happened to get the boots, but it was Raid Finder boots. I'm like, oh fuck, Raid Finder boots, great. And I also happened to get the this tanking trinkets, which helps out a ton for my threat. It makes me very comfortable now. Although I do sacrifice my raid healing, which is really depressing, but oh well. I was struggling a lot less trying to hold threat. But I got the Raid Finder version of the boots, and at first I was like, because I give myself rules, and I give myself and the guild like certain rules where when it comes to things like tier sets or special items like these, if you have a version of them, that's great. But if another version happens to drop, you can't just roll for it and be like, oh, well, it's an upgrade for me. I'm going to prioritize that people who don't have it at all, that they get it. So I was fully expecting, okay, I'm going to get the raid, since I got the Raid Finder version, like I'm not going to see the hero version like ever, because I'm going to have to wait for everyone else to at least get one of their own before I can even roll for the heroic version, because that's just the rule that I gave myself and to the guild. Funny enough, during the normal run, a couple of guys, I'm sorry, one of the guys happened to get the normal version of the boots. I think there were two versions. Yeah. So two people happened to get those boots. And then the other two who didn't have boots at all, they happened to dip out early because we were doing both normal and heroic because we wanted to get these stupid fucking shoes. So by the time we got to finishing off the Soul Hunter people again and the boots dropped, I'm like, all right, cool, great, grats, whatever. But then it turned out that it was just between me and one other guy, because that guy and one of them did happen to get the boots. So I was able to roll for it. I'm like, oh, this is it. And so I rolled for it and I won. and now I'm the best, and now I'm done with raid. So yeah, sorry guys. I know we just started doing Ventius pulls, but I think I'm good. I think I'm good. Good morning. Am I going to be streaming the alpha? That is the plan. Yes, that is the plan. And that's all I can say. Yeah, that's all I can say. So you can speculate on that as much as you like. So, but I do plan on streaming the alpha. So there are things that I do want to do. That on the alpha, like I was talking about this yesterday too. I plan on covering certain things. I'm very excited to like check out like some early stuff, and just kind of participate in the whole race, the whole kind of gold rush to get content out there and be like one of the first people to reveal stuff. So I'm going to be racing to show off certain things, and I don't think I worked on the list at all yesterday. It was just hot yesterday, man. The weather sucked so bad. I was enjoying my pizza, right? I was enjoying my pizza, trying to beat the heat. The heat still beat me. It was tough. It was tough, but I still enjoyed myself. So I didn't show you guys this yesterday, but because I don't want to show everything. I don't want to. I know I'm being paranoid, right? I'm being paranoid, but I just want to make sure that when I get stuff out, I want to have like a these aren't even original ideas, but like there are things that I do want to at least look at here. Make another document real quick. So things that I want to look at include these things here. So housing specifically, excuse me. I want to look at how the import-export stuff works. I want to, if possible, do measurements by like the yard of how big things are. That's going to be tough though, because I need a point of reference, and I don't know if I will have a point of reference because I need something to target. And map pings don't work in every situation, so that's going to be like a little bit tough. One thing that I am excited to do that is a very me thing. I want to do here. Let me make this bigger for you guys too. I want to do size measurements. So what I'll do, I'll take maps and I'll do like really quick and dirty comparisons. They're not pixel perfect, but I'll come up with approximations of like how big certain things are. So what I want to do is I guess actually, you know what I should do in advance is take a few capital cities, including Silvermoon, and get like the approximation of like the map size. And then when the alpha starts, and as soon as I get to Silvermoon, I'm gonna run over there, open the map, and it might be a placeholder kind of thing, but it's still gonna give an approximation of like, okay, so here's old Silvermoon, and then here it is inside new Silvermoon, and this is how big it is. And that might be a fun thing to share with folks, because we're men, and we love doing size comparisons because we can't help it. It's just part of who we are. It's very childish, but I'm totally doing it because yeah. But I also want to compare Silvermoon to the likes of Surumar City. You know, how, you know, what's the relative size difference there? You know, things like that. And I think it could be fun. And then Dornogal as well. Or even Dalaran, you know, to kind of give the comparison of, hey, here's a shared hub, here's how it looks, you know, just to give folks that sense of stuff. I like how the first thing on your list is professions. I love talking about professions. I mean, come on, like part of the bread and butter of what I do on this channel, like a couple big things that I do on this channel. You know, reaction and commentary to like things that I care about, because it's not everything. That sort of stuff. But when it comes to like guides, I love sharing my knowledge of systems. To me, that's what PTR exploration and alpha exploration is. It's not looking for like the best routes for dungeons and keys. It's not trying to get an early preview of bosses and stuff. It's not even so much the class related stuff, class changes, apex talents, yada yada yada. It's trying to understand like the systems, the gimmicky things that are coming in. So it's going to include professions, it's going to include housing. I want to get like a really good understanding, so that way when people ask me about stuff, or if I'm making guides, I can come from this this point of expertise, right? Like, notice you don't see me talking. I'll give some commentary about keys, but you won't catch me talking about like, oh, this is the right route, guys. I know I know I only do keys, like I do like 10 keys for a whole season, but here's like the best. Yeah. But I love talking about that stuff. I'm going to have a really, really fun time, and I always do. I'm gonna have a fun time figuring out like how the profession game changes. And that way I can make some more robust guides, because even now, like, I still get comments, and the profession guides that I put out for War Within, those still come out. People still look at them. They still talk shit, talk about how it's too hard and yada yada yada. But then as I've been learning these systems more and more, I'll be able to speak to them better. So what I'll definitely focus on this time around, assuming that nothing really changes, I'm going to talk to both like the career kind of farmer, and then the person, I'm just going to straight up tell people, hey, if you just want to like make money and like do stuff and avoid the complication, this is the kind of profession person you want to be. You want to be the kind of person that focuses really hard on concentration. So that way you can just come in every couple days, make some stuff, and then put it on the auction house. Nice and easy. Whether it's consumables or like housing stuff. Well, I guess housing stuff will be considered a consumable item, because people may want to buy multiples of some of these things and what have you. But again, it really depends on like what it is. I made 50K yesterday on the new contracts on the rate. That's pretty good, seeing as how they don't do anything. I remember like people were talking about it early on and saying, oh man, people are trying to sell, the Mana Forge materials thing for like gangbusters. I'm like, oh, do I have any of those? I don't know if I got any of those yesterday. I guess I should have, because I'd see here's the Raid Finder one. I forgot what it's called. Oh, Mana Forge Instrument. So let's just get rid of it, because I'm gonna need it for like anything. Oh, so under 1,000. You know what? Whatever, under 1,000, sure. It's not like I'm using it for anything anyway. Cool. And then, of course, I should be playing the game too. It's chilly today. I turn on the heat. I hate fall. One day 80, the next 50. Oh, 50 sounds so good. 50 sounds so good. Like right now it's really muggy out. There's like some sort of system where like we don't expect to see the sun today, which is great, because the sun and I have a terrible relationship. Contracts don't do anything. I just made it for the profession points. Okay, so they give profession points. That's very cool. I didn't know that. But as far as we know, they don't do anything. But I have a feeling, or some people are speculating. There's rumors, I guess. That's the best thing we could say. There's rumors that they are going to be used for some sort of secret thing. So you might want to at least have some of those contracts available. I'm like, okay, cool. So here, what I should do now is send these recipes off to relevant folks. So Solok happens to be my scribe and alchemist person, so they get, oh no, they get this one, and then this guy gets the glamour. Cool. So there's that. Yay. You multi-crafted 2 out of 3 and ended up with 7 million total, so I saved 2 for myself. Nice. Yeah, and then it just makes money. So cool. It's kind of funny, like how how fast the market can move like that. It's like, oh man, new material. Oh shit, hype, big money. Well, maybe big money, But then when people find out it doesn't do anything, oh shit, drop. You know? But then as we learn more again, then the value of this might go up once again, which is kind of cool. So I'm going to follow your guys' advice from yesterday. I'm going to go to I'm going to do like these things where you hop by the bars. Might as well do that. I mean, come on, I am like the add-on seeker person. I have tools with which to make life easier for me. So for those who are not familiar, this one is called Map Pin Enhanced. This one lets me drop multiple waypoints, just like a TomTom sort of thing. But instead of an arrow, it uses the waypoint system. So that way I can keep my eyes a little bit closer to the screen and not so much on the arrow. And I think I go down here. So even if you've done, so it's just like Hollow's End, sorry, where you just, you know, even if you've done this in previous years, you can go back and do it again. So nice and easy. Made 100k in a few of the mug drops in Brewfest. Ooh, the mug drops. Oh, that's pretty good. Nice. Yeah, some of the money that I've been making lately have included, oh, actually, shoot, did any of the BOE sell? Because that's different. The BOEs, that's like direct to guild bank money. But there was a cloth helmet that I got. No, actually, no. That one was during the raid too. So, did I get anything? Nope, nothing was sold. So, but okay. Well, I'll keep trying. Gotta make that repair money. There was a really cool string of sales or of crafting jobs that I had yesterday. So that was like an easy 20k. It was just like one after the other. I was like, whoa, something's going on. This is pretty cool. I mean, one thing is that lately, I don't know exactly when this happens. Maybe you guys know. At some point, they sell half sparks from the Great Vault person. You know, you can use your tokens of merit to buy that stuff. I know it's not like the first couple weeks, but it happens at some point. I just don't remember exactly when. But you can definitely do it now. You know, for people who are like, okay, there's nothing in here, but maybe I can craft something. And it's like, okay, cool. It was active last week as well. Okay, so did it start last week? Like, are you? Can you say that with confidence? Because I don't. I was not keeping track of that. Last week was when I saw. Okay. Yeah, because I'm not sure either. It just kind of happens. At first, I was like, okay, maybe it happens when we're like halfway through, when we're at that point, like turbo boost territory. But then people corrected me during season 2 as well. They're like, no, it came out before that. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, shit, I don't know when it comes out then. Some people were saying, oh no, it's there from the very start. I'm like, no, that can't be it. Because I have paid attention to that at least, so it happens. Yeah, that's the thing. Sometimes my vault is good. I'm like, okay, I'm fine. I don't need to look at the vendor, but I'm sure the knowledge is out there. I just wish I had a a good read on that. What's up, Boomer? I think it'd be cool if in the guild housing neighborhood there would be a gold house and an decrease visually based on how much is in the bank. Oh, that'd be fun. That'd be kind of cool. It'd be a neat effect. I really want to. I want to be able to ask those kinds of questions, dude. I really would like to ask those kinds of questions. All right, where to, man? Ruby Life Shrine. All right. So I believe there's like 10 or 11 here, and then another 10 or 11 over in Kazalgar, and that gets me 2 something or other. I've been buying stuff, so I unlocked some of the. I'm focusing on the cooler plate-looking sets, which is neat because it's a cosmetic set, and I believe anyone can wear it, which is pretty badass. And then there's like the more chill Brewfest looking one, which is like not as cool. And some of the pieces are expensive too. I'm like, yo, that's a lot, buddy. But I'm gonna still endeavor to knock those out too, because yeah, after this week, I'm screwed. I'm screwed. There's gonna be reacting to all this alpha. I'm stoked, dudes. I'm as stoked as my low energy self can get. Because I don't get that crazy, right? But I'm like the equivalent of like, oh shit, this is it. You know, I think about it long enough and then I start shaking. I'm like, oh, this is exciting. This is going to be a very exciting time. It's not going to be all great. You know, I'm sure there's going to be things that I'm like, oh, this ain't it, dude. But then just being able to like have a lot of stuff to explore and share and react to, that's extremely exciting for me. Okay, let me double check if there's a shield transmog here. Please, pretty please. See, that the icon looks like a shield and it's not, and that's very disappointing. Okay, so nothing again. All right. Just imagine, like, how many people just like stand around town. You know, like there's the argument that a lot of folks make when they're like, oh man, cities are going to be empty. And I believe that's going to be the case. There's going to be a lot of folks who are like, okay, instead of hanging out here, I'm going to like do stuff in my house. The way I see it though is you're just standing around doing nothing. Or you're just waiting for queues and stuff like that. To me, that doesn't make a difference. It just creates that kind of perception of like, okay, what are people doing? You know, and for all of us, up until this point, to just stand around the city, that just underlines the whole sense of, yeah, we're just murder hobos. We just go around and then we just wait in the city for more work and more stuff to do. And that's gonna change. You know, for some people it's not, but then I think for a lot of us, it's gonna be like, okay, now I want to like do stuff. Now I want to, you know, go back and work on my project house, because that could be cool. Guild neighborhoods should be the hubs. One thing I don't want though is I don't want neighborhoods or the house to replace the city. You know, I want there to be like these good distinctions between one thing or another. You know, the city is where you're going for like commerce and stuff. That's where you're going to find the auction house. That's where you're going to find public orders, trade chat, that sort of thing, you know, for everybody. Neighborhoods are different. Neighborhoods are going to be this little microcosm, this sort of, you know, think of, remember once upon a time we had server identity? Wow, that was a thing once upon a time. You know, you had this whole vibe where people just knew each other. And you can sort of achieve that now in like trade chat, kind of, sort of, but not exactly the same. You know, so there are definitely some things that I don't want to just be standing around in my house for, like trade chat being one of them. So that, and that's that you know, that's my take, of course. I'm just right. We have a mobile auction. Yeah, there's always that too, but I just feel like there should be these very clear distinctions between, you know, what is the city life, what is the not so city life, and so on and so forth. You know, I remember early on, during the development of Warlords of Draenor, that spot, the garrison did not have trade chat, and people were pissed. People were pretty pissed, and I'd say rightfully so, because the garrison had everything already. It just didn't happen to have trade chat, and to even me, like that felt very awkward, because essentially you weren't doing, you know, you were doing stuff in the garrison a little bit, but it replaced everything. And so naturally people were like, no, we need to have like city chat and trade chat and all that stuff here too, so I can like do stuff, because there's so many things that I'm doing here. Housing is going to be different. Housing is Um, you know, you spend time there because you're going to develop, just like you spend time in. It's not like you have trade chat in dungeons. Like when you're in the dungeon, you're doing dungeon stuff. When you're doing raids, you're doing raid stuff, and maybe you're in raid, maybe you're in general raid chat for the instance and stuff, just because it's goofy. But then, the neighborhood would be like that kind of equivalent. But it's not like you're, you know, spamming trade stuff in those activities, and housing is going to be considered an activity. I eventually got there, so I'm gonna have to join my guild Facebook neighborhood group to get all the dirt on the HOA drama. A guild Facebook page. Interesting. Facebook. What, Facebook? Who uses that shit? I mean, I technically have like a presence on Facebook, but I don't look at it at all. It's just like there. Hospital Notorious is full of Karens, oh boy. You want server identity, go to Classic, where a server fought back against Blizzard and won. What's the story? I'm not familiar with that story. What happened there? So some server was fighting the man, huh? Yeah, I'm gonna keep up on like Classic news. Like the other week I'll see like, oh, Terrace of Endless Spring has opened, and then, you know, a few minutes later, oh, Terrace of Endless Spring world first. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Good for them. Just very quick stuff. You know, and seeing them present content like, you know, it's brand new. Check it out, guys. Let me tell you all about it. I'm like, oh boy. But there are people who are new to Classic that need to know the information as well. So, gotta be fair. Blizzard wanted to close servers, move everyone to Pagel, make it a mega server. Bloodsail Buccaneers said no. So what's going to happen? Are they just canceling the whole thing? Yeah, I heard about the mega server stuff. But I don't know the details on it, so. Way outside my purview. And that's is that applying to the anniversary servers or the current MOP servers? I get very confused very easily when trying to tell the difference there. Some players trying classes didn't exist when I was like, no, that is fair. Yeah, there are new people. You know, those of us who are like, oh, well, it's not really world first because that happened 20 years. That's kind of cringe territory. Like, that's a little distasteful because, yeah, some people are like, yeah, I was 4 years old when this first came out, man. Get off of it. And some people just, you know, they were in a different space. Like, they just didn't play, and then now they want to. So, yeah, all respect for our Classic playing friends. When we get to when we, you know, descend into the whole tribalism of things, that's where I get turned off real fast. I'm like, okay, I can't really have a conversation here, man. Back my degree on AOL, uphill in the rain, but yeah. No, I think I happened. Oh gosh, I happened to be on DSL. Like I was just getting on to DSL at the time. Oh man, what a journey that was. I was trying to get DSL installed in my house, and it took a year for it to happen. I was so pissed. Because like I signed the contract. And they said, oh yeah, we'll have it ready in this day. And then they kept charging me, but it wasn't working. And I was getting pissed. I'm like, like, yo, I'm gonna take you to court and blah blah blah. Like, it was a whole thing. It was a whole thing back in 2002. But then when it was all said and done, you know, they finally got it to work. And then they gave me a free year. So they gave me all the money back. And they gave me a free year. So I'm like, okay, good. I won't try to litigate this. So I enjoyed a free year of DSL. And then when that free year was up, they're like, all right, are you ready to pay? I'm like, nope, I'm canceling right away. Because, yeah. And then I switched. That was it. Oh, did I finish all of them? Really? I'm going to Dorn. Okay. Sneaky sneak. Well, maybe they should have done a better job of either getting their shit together and getting my internet working, or to just cancel the contract, give me back whatever money that I paid, and that would have been it. So it's not so much they fought back for like it didn't meet the criteria. They only made mega servers for servers that were all lopsided factions, which was like 90%. Oh, okay. I had AOL in the rural Maine, middle of nowhere. I got cable in Iraq, and it blew my mind. I mean, those were the days of like, well, you definitely want to use the discs to install stuff as opposed to trying to do the downloads and all that. I think I remember early on, I mean, like this was well into like high-speed internet age and all that, but I remember people were like, oh, what? They're streaming BlizzCon? I can't afford it, you know, because data caps and what have you. That was like a big deal. Not dial-up. All right, so let's... Okay, my boots are funny, but let's ruin this mog with... Oh yeah. Now this is dressed down from space-looking Valkyrie shit to you know, casual Pandaria. Yeah, this does have that Pandaria vibe. Not so much the helmet. That's a Eternal Palace thing. But okay, it's oh, my pants never changed. Interesting. I wonder if that's what I got. The add-on, I love the add-on. It's just not perfect. It's just not quite there yet, because sometimes it won't change everything, but it's getting there. I hope I gave it a good bump when I did the reminder video. I'll probably do another I'll do another what's it called add-on video for the remix patch coming up soon. I'll do that, and then I'll bump this one again, because I mean the joy of, well, there are going to be people who want add-ons specifically for the remix. I don't really know what those are going to be. Maybe I'll just like pretend it's like a new game or something like that. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. You want a rare scanning add-on? You want this? You want this? There's like an artifact tracking thing that I believe Keyboard Turner is working on, and then I'm gonna bump this one too, because Transmog is free in the remix. So you might as well just like fuck around and play with sets and do your own thing. So. Yeah. Okay, so I did that one. I'm going to this way. Ziggy sold us and the Pallies from Mars. Space Paladin. Now, and these, what? Coming on 21 years of WoW pretty soon. Coming on these 27 years of WoW. I remember when patch days were like a patch week. You know, people, not to say that today's problems are trivial. They're still problems. But boy, I remember when things were just bad. Things were just bad. Servers were just melted. Gamers couldn't play for like a long time. You know, something like back then, the race to world first just couldn't happen. It just couldn't really happen because some servers, not even regions, some servers would be days behind because they just wouldn't work. It was wild, man. It was wild. Got a game on launch day between a credit card issue and patches. Didn't play until week 2. Damn. And this is vanilla, right? Like, I didn't play until like sometime during the first week. I didn't start playing right away, but then there are no weird circumstances. I was just working at the time, and my schedule just wasn't very like friendly. So, and then someone I was dating at the time was like, "Oh, well, I want to play together so we can do stuff together." I'm like, "Okay, sure, I'm cool with that." What did I play? Yeah, I was a warlock. She was a. I don't remember. She didn't play for very long. Yeah, she got to like level 30, level 40, and then I think that's when around the time we broke up, because I was like, I need to play with good players, yo. No, it wasn't that. It was something totally different. She was just crazy, but different world back then, man. Different world back then. On lunch day, my friend stood in line at Best Buy and had a second box in the CD section, told me where to go, and I got it later in the day since I was booked. Oh, nice. Nice. Does my wife play? Not anymore. These days, she is way too engrossed with work, unfortunately, which sucks. It sucks that she's stuck with work. She was playing up until approximately kind of sometime in Shadowlands, when she finally was like, I'm just gonna work. Yeah, so she wasn't really here for like, no, actually, no, she was here for a little bit of Dragonflight stuff. Yeah, so she quit around Dragonflight. Sad song. Even before that, though, she wasn't really like raiding and doing stuff. She was more like helping to do administrative work in the guild, bank organization, and we haven't been the same since. Truth. But also, she would spend most of her time farming up Blood of Sargeras. She would farm up Blood of Sargeras so she can convert that into Dreamleaf, and then give me the Dreamleaf so that way I can convert that into glyph stuff and make some money. But now that market has mostly like died out, another sad song, it kind of demotivated her from playing. Before that, she was doing the garrison stuff and Hexweek bags. So long after Warlords was over, she was toiling at the mines, picking herbs, working the trading post angle, and making some pretty good money. Just doing Warlord stuff. He hid in a country or something which wasn't popular, so he knew it would be safe. That's funny. Every guild over 100 people needs that. It really keeps the drama down. Yeah, like my active roster, like we have, I don't know, I'll go with like 30 people, but then that usually whittles down to like 20 something, and then as the season goes by, it's fewer than that. But I'd say it's like 30 or so people who are like pretty active. And then there's people who are in guild, but they just don't raid. They just like hanging out, which is cool too. But so far, I can just play Dictator and manage everything just fine for the most part. We're all old-ish, and I'd say the big tip for being able to run a guild solo is to establish a lot of trust. Get them to trust you. Be genuine to earn that trust, and you'll have a much more comfortable time, because even if you make a boneheaded mistake or make a bad call or a wrong move on like how the scheduling will go or whatever, they still, for the most part, trust that you have everyone's interest at heart, and that you're not just here like, well, you guys are here to serve me and make me gold or get me all the gear. That's not what I do. That's not my idea of fun. Hellafall is next, so I'm going back north again. Yeah. Okay, back north. Actually, yeah, back north. Yeah. We have 3 people in a guild and have been that way for a while. Lol, and we're old-ish. Hey, as long as the things that you want to do, you can do together, or not. If you're just hanging out, then that's your guild. That's it. That's all you need. You don't need to have, you know, thousands of people in your guild. You don't need to be Team Liquid or Echo or whatever. You can just be this group. As long as you're a group of people who are, for the most part, like-minded, and can put up with each other, or otherwise, you know, find each other to be good company, all the better. Nice and easy. It's not complicated. You know, but it's not like it's not like social media where it's like, okay, everyone gets to come along, and you know, your ideologies might totally clash, but it's okay because, you know, we're all just here to play video. You know, sometimes that doesn't work out so great. Some people can't, you know, they don't want to deal with that. And so for the most part, I tend to wordlessly say, you know, leave those things at home. Play video games with me. Come on. Gotta get back in the guild for the neighborhood so I can TP Soul's house on Halloween. Sure, go ahead. Good luck with that. I really hope that that by the time early access is done and they do like the actual launch, I really want them to do neutral housing. Because one of the questions that I'd love to ask about housing is, like, they mentioned neutral housing. I'm like, okay, what do you mean by that? Do you mean like Tuskar housing or Vrykul housing, like neutral race sorts of stuff? Do you mean Drakthir housing, as in neutral playable races, so Drakthir and Pandaren and Earthen? Is that what you mean? Or do you mean like abstract stuff, like, hey, I want to make a chimney, and then it's a little crawl space, and then you go inside and then that's the house? Or it's just like a hole in the ground and then you jump in and then you go into your house? Maybe that's the idea of neutral. I don't know. But I'd love to see like I think what would be a cool tool for Blizzard to use would be to just have like a portal, like a clickable portal kind of thing, where people just walk into it and then that just teleports them to the house. Like, you just bypass the entire mechanic of the external decor for a house, and you just break it down to like, okay, here's just the entrance. So that way I could just talk to this mailbox and then that'll take me into the house or something like that. Or I just have like a door suspended and then I just walk up to the door and then that takes me to the house. I would want something like that. Something boundless self-expression, right? Give me that sort of freedom, and that would be like a very good win. Because then we can do whatever we want. You know, the conversations about the faction restrictions and whatnot, you know, I hear you. But I think one way to get around that is to just introduce like more stuff too. But I still would prefer that private neighborhoods, like the charter and the guild stuff, that those bypass those sorts of restrictions, because we have cross-faction guilds. Why can't we have cross-faction neighborhoods and for a guild neighborhood? Buddy, I need shoes. Hold on. Like, I'm not going like super barefoot here. I need to massage the feet a little bit. Oh. Into the house. What about the exterior? What about the exterior? What if I don't care about an exterior? What if I want my housing lot to be how do I get out of here? What if I wanted to look like this kind of outdoor workshop kind of thing with these things here and these things here, but then the way that I actually go to my house is I go up to like a teleporter pad, right? Because in my headspace, my house orbits Azeroth. Yeah, I'm making shit up, obviously. But if I could just like walk onto a teleporter on my yard, and then it takes me to like the interior of the house, then I can, I can tell that story. Like, oh yeah, my house is like orbiting around whatever, or it's on some faraway planet, or something like that. Or it's in, close to the center of the planet, something like that. I can just make shit up, and I very much believe in the freedom of being able to do that. And all you got to do, and all Blizzard has to do, is just kind of decouple the whole notion of you must have a house as the exterior. I don't want that. My house is a big sword. You can take an elevator into the pen. Yeah, dude, that'd be sick. Yeah, it could be like this little apartment that you set up inside the Vindicar. It's like, yo, here's like this sub basement of the Vindicar that I made into my house. I'm just like a stowaway. That'd be kind of cool, because then you can pull off the vibe of like, it can be like a big cargo hold, and then you'll just have like all these different things that make it look like a big cargo hold, but then you have like this carved out space. So you're like, yeah, so you're living like you're just kind of bumming off and living on the Vindicar, but you're not really. I think that's a cool story that you can tell. So Blizzard, just do it. Just do it. Don't be a bitch. Just do it or you suck, all right? Yeah. Where to next? We are going to Osgats. Let's go. Yeehaw. I want my house to be an outhouse on a hill. Underground, my house will have a big garden in the middle, free fertilizer, and the rooms all around it. Dwarven herbalist dream home. Like, I think there's some like dream for me, guys. Like, what are some of your ideas? What are things that you think you want to like pull off for housing, for your place? Like, and so let me give an example. I think it'd be cool to have, I want to have like a little coffee shop kind of bar kind of spot. So like room for like maybe at most 20 people. So enough space for like 20 people. So that might end up being like an elevation or something like that. So I'll set up a little coffee shop, restaurant, bar kind of spot. I want to have a profession area for sure. A place that's mostly an homage to blacksmithing and engineering, my favorite stuff. So something very industrial and all that. What I'd love to do, this is going to sound very abstract. I'm not going to have a great time imagining this, but I want to be able to walk into the house and it starts off as like this pretty narrow hallway, but it's surrounded by, but it has this vibe that I might be kind of like in a foresty area or something like that. So I'm not really entering the house yet. But then as I travel down this, quote hallway, I climb up a little bit to like what's actually the second floor. And then that's where you'll see like a wall and blah, 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 and this low ceiling. And then that will be like the house. So I walk into the house, but I'm actually on the second floor. Because I want to have a basement. To pull that off, I need to have like an actual I need to have like a second entrance into the house, which is, it sounds very odd, but I would have a second entrance to the house inside the house. Yeah, it's gonna be weird, but I think that'd be a cool effect to create this whole to have like that sort of basement kind of feel to it. You want a farmstead, you ride up to on your ground mount, you put them out in the stable, walk into your house where you kick off your shoes, plop down on your big comfy chair, grab a bite of food that you can cook in your kitchen, get up and go to your bed. Yeah, I haven't even thought of a bedroom yet. I think the bedroom might be like kind of simple. It's just gonna be like, a simple room, couple pieces of furniture, and then like, the hottest, sexiest pictures that I can find plastered on the walls and the ceiling. There we go. Easy. You make a section of the house that's like the lower deck. That'd be cool. Yeah. I'm sure someone can and will like replicate, not all of it, but they'll do their best to create a rendition of the Vindicar. or it could be like a different Draenei ship. Or something else entirely. Like, yo, dude, here, I made the fucking deck of, like, the Star Trek ships and all that stuff. Here you go. Boom, in game. That'd be sick. Mirrors are for ceilings and sexy times. Mirrors. One table for all professions, or multiple tables with each profession aesthetic. I would want to... well, I don't think there is going to be a one table for all professions thing. I think that would be a bit homogenized with like the whole design of things. No, I would want to have like a different station for like everything. But I would say like the whole quotes crafting room is going to be very strongly themed with like engineering and blacksmithy stuff. So it's going to be basically like so think of Dorn inside that giant forge. It's going to be that, but it's also going to include all the other professions, because I do the other professions. Now, of course, is the question of, are they going to allow, how much profession stuff are they going to allow inside the house? Or is it going to be like, oh, you can only do it in the neighborhood, which I think would be like shitty. But it could be that too. So we'll see. Alright, now we're going this way. Okay, all these... okay, that's the Niffin bar. Right. I was wondering what other bars were going to be around now. I figured there's going to be some City of Threads. And then the hub. I didn't think of the Niffin. There's one table for... just get a pet mechanism. There we go. Easy. Neighborhood profession building with a membership fee. I think adding something like that would be a great way of just killing off your neighborhood. So, would you like to have an empty neighborhood? Easy. Just charge fees and other arbitrary stuff. That'll go great. They'll love it. The crazy ones are going to make freaking nightclubs and all that. So, like, there are... I remember during the media summit, like, people were asking, like, can we change the lighting? Because people would want to make, like, an appropriate mood for the house. Because as is, you go into the house, and there's, like, this natural ambient light that comes from nowhere. And you know, that's okay, but I think that kind of sucks, too. I think it should be much darker by default. That way... you can the lights that you do install will actually be useful. So but I guess the ideal thing would be they should just add they should just allow us to adjust the ambient light. So if we don't want to worry so much about lights, we don't have to do that. We could just crank it up or crank it down if we want to. See, one more. Oh, that's not far. And I think this should be the last one. Alright, let's go back to Grimmer. A red light district? Sure, dude. Dude, there's definitely going to be a neighborhood that does that. Several neighborhoods that do that. And then, you know what's going to happen? A drama. You're going to have the madams of each of these neighborhoods fight. And there's going to be drama and all that stuff. So one thing that I hope someone asks about housing is the moderation of things. What sorts of tools and whatnot are the team thinking of? Because that can get out of hand. Like, imagine being able to, like, mass report an entire neighborhood and shut it down. That would suck, dude. That would hella suck. I'd be hella pissed if, like, some bad actors were like, oh, I'm just going to take this bot network of mine and mass report this thing so that way, like, the game will automatically shut down a whole neighborhood, for however long until a human person takes a look at it, if that. Yeah, that would suck, dude. Natural luminescence. Yeah, so basically different color lights. You know, yellow light versus blue lights and all that stuff. Yeah, or versus daylight. First time in Moonguard, I got trolled into it. I rolled up my gnome warrior in pigtails, was running to Goldshire to meet up guildies and quest, rolls up in a cycle with a sidecar, opens trade window, puts in the... Wow. That's something. That's something. You can see what's funny, is like I think that's like kind of a no-no. I figured that'd be a no-no on that server, unless you happen to have like that whole total RP add-on, which I'm sure you didn't have. That would say, oh, here's my profile. I'm a kawaii little girl and I'm looking for her daddy, and then that would invite someone to initiate like that. But unprompted, if someone doesn't have an add-on or a profile like that, that doesn't sound right. So but this will be wild. This is going to be insane. The whole idea of user-generated content in World of Warcraft is going to be a lot to moderate. And what I'm scared of is that Blizzard's going to rely on automation to do that. And that's going to backfire real quick, because you have shitty people out there who will maliciously like try to mass report people, and that is very not okay. Okay, so where was I? Okay, so what are the dailies like? So I'll get like, okay, that's not a thing really. This one is though. This one will get me what, 10 probably? Yeah, I get 10 from that, 10 from that. And then oh yeah, I should do the mount daily. I'll always do one. And then like the first time for other characters too. So in fact, it was called Pornshire should have been included. Also, when they specifically said bring Kara, it'll be funny. Wouldn't be surprised one of them put them into it, to be fair. Right. If it was a prank, then okay. That's kind of fucked up, but like it's not really the way. I mean, have you been playing WoW for a while up to that point, or was that like your first WoW experience? That would have been fucked up. Way to ruin someone's experience like that, if that were the case. All right, where are them vendor peoples? Yoo-hoo. There we go. So what can I buy? I have 477 on me. Oh, that's kind of a lot. Really? Oh, okay. Apparently I have a lot. So let's do this first. Playing for years, was the first time on an RP server. They roped me into trying to move on the ERP server. Yeah, so I remember one of my first visits there was during the BlizzCon actually. So there's like a bunch of guildmates. We're all together, and we all just, I don't know why we went there, but we were just acting like goofy as hell. Like I was being a total creeper, where I was just on like this plain looking human character person, and I just went, like I was like standing in like the doorway with like half my face showing, and I was just like standing there just staring. And we were laughing our asses off, so that was fun. All right, no mount today. Hinra, hey, what's up? Happy morning. My wife is going to start playing WoW because she just wants to do housing, and I'm trying to figure out how to bring her into the game. She has no desire to do any PvE or PvP besides housing stuff. So another question that I hope gets asked is just when does someone get access to housing? Right? When? It's hard to imagine someone who is playing only for housing and like literally nothing else, because you got to get stuff somehow. So maybe she can get into the economy side of things. Maybe that might interest her. Maybe not. That would be like the angle I would look at. All right, so what do I have? And so I've got 450 or something like that. 491. So almost 500. So I can and probably should just. So I'll buy a 250 there, and I'll buy a 200. So like that. Cool and cool. All right, so where am I at on this? So I have that one, that's. Oh, so I finished this one. Nice. Okay, so I finished this dark iron set. Okay, don't mind the tabard, but you know I have this set now, which is cool. And now I can just work on these things. So do I have any of these yet? No, I don't. So I need another what? 2, 4, C8, 950, 1150, whatever. I need like more. So I need more. But then there's also the event too. But you know, I think I'll worry about the event later. I think I want to work towards like the easy stuff that I don't have to worry about, like time and timing, whatever. So in City, daily quest, professions, gatherings, and that's XP. Archaeology for some transmogs and pets gives XP for a mindless kind of thing. I mean, you said she likes professions. And there is a certain... So I'd say gathering. Yeah. Yeah, I'd say she should spend most of her time gathering and doing basic profession stuff. So she might be interested in making multiple characters for that purpose. But then just focus on the flying aspect of it. So I would say, like, I'd say you'd want to definitely help her out with getting some starting mounts, right? Maybe if you want to hook her up with a Traveler's Tundra mount, that, you know, for like vendoring and stuff, that'd be awesome. Or if you want to be like a manly man, if you want to be a true partner, get her a Brutosaur. Easy. You just gotta get one. No big deal. That way she can manage commerce like much more easily. Okay, so I'm gonna get on other characters and just kind of go through the motions. Same thing. Drops 2 transmog sets, blue and brown Scottish gear. Also has 100, collecting the different animals and the books and such. I'm gonna stress less over that. And then maybe in like some other year, I'll work on that. Or if I have time this week, I'll do it. But I think I want to focus on like the vendor stuff. I think the vendor stuff will be like the best, kind of the best use of my time. And it's chill. It's nice and easy. I can chat with y'all while I do it. I'm excited because she wants to play, but hasn't been drawn in at all. Once I showed housing stuff, her drop since her favorite game is The Sims 2. Different game, though. You know, people love to make the comparisons. Oh, it's literally The Sims. Yeah, but you're not really doing Sims. You know, you're not messing with other characters' behaviors and stuff. You're just building things. And it's cool you have a lot more freedom to do it. It's just like, make whatever monstrosity you want. You just live in it. And, she just wants to make the interior of the house look cool. I mean, maybe you should look. I mean, it's cool that you have 2 houses, Nev. So maybe what you could do is like one house. Well, that would be weird too, because then that's kind of an account sharing issue. Yeah, never mind that then. Because otherwise, I would say, you know, I'll just have her decorate the house for you. No one's gonna know. Nah, not really a recommendation though. But it would be. It would be. All right, so let's redo this thing and see where's my list. Okay, here we go. Have different ideas. I want to make a dojo, and she wants to make something actually like a home that's cozy. How, dude? You can make the dojo, and then upstairs is the living area. Housing is big, dude. Like you can make really big homes. I can't understate that. It's very, very big. I don't have a perfect measurement of it. That's why I want to do the measurements on my own and find out. But yeah, you can make a very, very big house. All right. It's okay. From a little, I saw it'd be more of a shogun palace and a dojo, a full-on monastery. That's wild. All right. Let's hit up the places. Okay, so how much stuff do I have on me right now? I got like nothing because I traded it over. At least yesterday, like I'm not able to mail tokens over, but I can just, you know, pop open the war bank and move stuff over there. I like the idea of feudal Japan type house, and my wife is more modern. Lol. Ah, got it. I'd say depending on how they handle the import-export options, it'll at least give you that flexibility of, ooh, let me just try something different. Or let me just apply it to this house, or apply it to the other house. So. Oh, the Winchester house? Oh, I haven't been there in years, man. I went once. So Winchester, it's they call it the Winchester Mystery House. It's an actual house. It's just built funny. I forget why, but it's just a wild place. Let's go back to your guild and have her join so you can see how contrasting our styles are. Sure, why? Yeah, let's go ahead and reapply or whatever, and then just make sure you put her note on the guild note. That way I know. There's a lot of people who apply for the guild, they just don't leave a note, and well, clearly you're not following directions, and so you're out. Sorry, buddy. Like I straight up say, like if you leave an application with a blank note, it's gonna be instant denied. I at least want to try to get to know you. Yeah. So 17 minutes until some possible news. Maybe news. Okay, tell me I'm not like directions. Oh shit, that reminds me. I totally forgot. I meant to pick up a like a low drawer to use as a nightstand for the bedroom. Like I have not been doing a great job of furnishing this place. This is, you know, done, but then outside, nah. Not really. Not really. I'm complaining regularly that we don't have a couch, but it just sucks because my mom's gonna be around here soon too. So I'm like, oh, maybe I can just like not buy a couch and just let her buy it instead. Yeah, it's a really awkward living situation. Dwayne was convinced that every person's ghost who had been shot with a Winchester rifle was hunting her, so her pal convinced her to make the. Oh, okay, okay. No, I remember that. The stairs that are just like ceilings. And all that. I'd say Alcatraz was the more interesting tour. that I've been on around here in the area. I didn't go there until I was like, shoot, maybe about 10 years ago? No, less than 10 years ago was when I finally went to Alcatraz. Oh, here's a question that I would have. They said, Blizzard said that we'll be able to fly into Silvermoon or fly into Quel'Thalas in one map. You know, it's all going to be linked together. But my question though is like, you know, old world flying speed is different from the current stuff. So what's going to happen there? Are we going to like suddenly like boom, you know, just lose about like 10-20% of our flight speed when we're going from Plaguelands into Quel'Thalas? Or I mean, maybe it won't be that noticeable. On paper, it feels like something to bring up though. It's like, so what's going to happen? Is that going to be kind of weird? Wait, is it here? Was this a spot? No, this is not a spot. This is a... Oh, no, it is. My bad. Isn't the speed only faster in Dragonflight zones? Pretty sure War Within zones are the same speed as Old World. I thought it was fast there, too. Why are only my Horde tunes getting the Brewfest quest for the 40 extra tokens? Because the Horde are superior race. I'm pretty sure that's it. I don't know. That's kind of odd. Oh, and which quest are you talking about, too? Are you talking about the one for Core and Dire Brew? Because one thing I did notice is I didn't automatically start the quest, but I did get the item. So I had to go into my inventory and open it up manually. I don't know if that's the case for Alliance characters or for you in particular, but I say double check your inventory. See if it happens to be there, but it just didn't do anything. Okay, now I'm tripping. Like, what is flight speed in Khazalgar? I thought it was dragon flight speed. Because, yeah. I don't know. I don't know anymore. I'm confused. Oh, next spot. Next spots. So this I'm gonna get 220, I believe. And yeah, this'll be some good momentum. So I'm just kind of going through all the characters that I've been doing yesterday and picking up where I left off. We had 3 doors like that in the home I grew up with, 2 upstairs. Oh, that's crazy. Now, I loved having a basement, man. I lived in Colorado for a very short time, like not even a year before we were like, oh, this is not working out. But they had a basement. I thought that was cool because it was like nice and cool in there. Colorado weather was kind of weird. Like it does snow and everything, but sometimes it'll feel like Hawaii almost, where like 1 minute it seems clear, next minute it's like super raining. I'm like, what the hell happened there? But being in, hanging out in the basement, the temperature just kind of like stayed regular. I thought that was cool. Oh yeah, basements are the best. They're awesome. Like those days, I was just kind of like lay around and be like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm biased towards attics. Attics. Yeah, we don't have much of an attic here. Like, we have, like, an attic space that we have access to, but it's not really an attic. Like, it's not fun. Like, it's actually right here. It's in the closet of this room, where I gotta pull down, like, steps or whatever. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, basements versus attics. Basements every time. Every time. Horror movies don't scare me. Grew up in a house with a basement, cold in the winter. Neighbors 2 doors down had a second floor. Was always envious of them. We could sneak out the window. They had to drop down and climb back up. Nah, the place had the place in Colorado. It was like a 2.5-story kind of place. It was weird. Like downstairs was like the family room. That's where the TV was, and that's where the garage was. And then you go up one level, to the kind of second floor, where the front door was, because the front door had like a whole bunch of stairs to it. It was, so it was weird. And then that is where you had like the kitchen and living room, and again the entrance to the house. And then you had like just like 5 steps, not even a full set of stairs, but you just like 5 steps, and that led to all the bedrooms. So it's kind of weird. Nice place though. Yeah, split level home. Okay. Yeah, I'm not familiar with the term, so. And this way. Usually because of sloping yards or something, sometimes huge rock on the ground can't be moved, so a house is built around it. Nah, this was like a suburban kind of thing. Like, this is like a whole neighborhood, and all the houses were like that. So maybe that applied to all the houses, but I don't know. Or maybe that's just like the style of the designer, and that's how they wanted to do it. Like, this house is weird that I'm saying that I live in, because it's weird. Like, windows are not really like a thing here. Like, there are no bathroom windows. None of the bathrooms here have windows. And so whenever I would go to someone else's house and I would see windows, I would always find that so weird for the longest time. It took a while for me to realize, no, I'm the weird one. This house is the one that's off. Yeah. Yeah, not being able to circulate the air like, the way that we want to kind of sucks. Dumb question. Do we need sent through brew goggles this year, or did they remove them? I can't find the NPC that gives them things. The quest where you pick those up, you should automatically get them. If you don't automatically get them, then they might be in your bank somewhere. Like, but otherwise, I don't know. Like, you should get them automatically, because that's what happened to me. So, and remember, you got to put them on too. It's not just it's not going to be like an item that's here that you just click and then activate. It's gear. Oh, actually, wait. There's one right here. So built in the 70s and 80s, or just built for a while? Oh, is there pain? Okay. Yeah, I know it wasn't a brand new house, I don't think. And I remember my dad, he ended up having to insulate the basement himself too. That took a while. So it kind of sucked that we only stayed there for like a year. You know, because here we are putting some money into it, and then we rented it out, so that kind of worked out. Right, get that one out. There we go. There we go. There we go. Oh, it's still 5 minutes. Ooh, time's going slow. Good. That means I can get more stuff done. I don't think I'll be able to finish all the stuff. Wait, is this the wrong way? Yeah, I went the wrong way. I think apart from the Transmog stuff, there's the back piece that I never bought, so I'll want to make sure I get that. So that's an extra 200 that I'll be farming up, and that's fine. I think that'll work out because like if I get on a fresh character, I do everything. I get like a little over 400, and I can probably squeeze out a little bit more on top of that too. So off we go to the Ringing Deeps. So it wasn't your bank? Yeah. Hey, it worked out. At least we solved the problem. Yeah, it would suck to miss out on that quest. That's like an easy 40 tokens. That's like 4 bar tabs, man. Precious minutes. Super Easy now since you only go to one. Yeah, you don't have to go through like multiples, right? Alright, Ringing Deeps. I'm going to be very curious about these Apex talents. I don't know what to expect. We saw like a little bit of preview. We saw one for Evokers, I believe. We saw one for Demon Hunters. Oh, I'm sorry. I forget which Evoker's back, but then the other one was for Devour Demon Hunters. But what about the rest? What about tanks? Like, what's their shit going to be like? So for those who aren't super familiar, the whole thing with Apex talents is it's a talent where the first point will do something cool for your class, for your spec, but then you can power it up even more to make it even better, or you can take those extra points and put them wherever you want in your spec talent tree. So like, here, I should land for this. I should land somewhere safe for this. So I'll be able to take like these hero talents, and there's going to be another row here, or something like that. So I'll get more stuff, and then there's like there's going to be another talent on top of that I can like make even. No. These are just going to have talents. It's down here, in this tree where I can be like boom, 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 or I can just not have the Apex talent at all. And I can, so from this existing tree, then I can be like, oh, cool. Now I can pick up both Bulwark and Final Stand. So I can have all these things at once. Oh, fuck yeah. Something like that. And this isn't going to change. I believe no points are being added here. It's all like the spec and the hero talent tree where you're getting stuff. So it could be cool. Oh, no, I think we are getting points here. Yeah, we get some points here. So, yeah, some points everywhere. Yeah. Thanks for the correction. So, like, this isn't going to change for the most part, aside from rebalancing. It's not going to grow, but these two trees will grow. Now, these are, like, automatically allocated. You're going to get whatever talents that they are, unless there's choice nodes. then you have a little bit of choice. So you could almost think of these as leveling perks for the most part. So we can kind of leave that alone. It's really going to be like here where you get to like really play with stuff. And it might be cool. I have a feeling that I'm going to go, that as is, I'm going to go all in with the Apex talent. And I'm not going to care too much about like Bulwark and Final Stand, like, except for like very situational things. That's how I look at it. Like if I'm tanking a raid boss, I'm probably not going to pick up Bulwark. Unless I'm doing keys or like it's a very specific fight where I pick up a bunch of ads, I'm not going to pick up Final Stand either. So I'll probably go all in with the Apex talent depending on what it is. My hope is that I don't know. I don't know what to expect. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. I'm very excited to see what we get. I hope it's awesome, but not too awesome that I'm going to be really butthurt when it goes away, because that's what's gonna eventually happen. Like all things. For Horde, by the way, you go to Thunder Bluff. Yeah, you go to Thunder Bluff for that. So it's not that far. Just a quick hop in the skid. I hope we can at least see them in this first phase. Because I know that we won't be able to mess around with them until the 5th phase, I believe. You know, not until later. But I at least want to take a look at them. Be like, yo, check it out. So that'll be a thing to cover, like if possible. If I can at least look at the tooltips, then I at least want to cover like what the Apex talent means. Because I'm no class expert. That's like definitely a given. Apex talents. Because I can speak to my class all day, or to my spec all day. Everyone else, though, I'm an idiot. I'm an imbecile. I was very disappointed in myself, though, because since I switched out my, wrong class. Since I switched out my healing trinket for something that was a bit more tanky and thready, like I went down from 99% pars to 98, and I'm like, oh, dude. Bad. Doesn't feel good. It did not feel good. I know. It's like, what's the point? Trying to be like what? An all-rounder? No, that's not me. That's not what I need. Now I want the there's like a healing trinket that I want. I want to try that out. It's an on use, but I use it and then it heals people for a shitload. Imagine that you get 99% pause for damage and healing. That's gonna get nerfed. That would not. Yeah, that wouldn't happen. And that would be that's a misspent area. That's vengeance tanking. It would be that kind of thing. And even then, I still wouldn't focus very much on like dealing damage. I just happen to do it. The fact that I get that I could get orange parses for healing, but still manage to at least get green parses for damage, that says something. You know, I'm sure I'm doing something right. If anything, I play pretty hard because I gotta try really hard to hold threat when I'm not able to perform like that. Oh, hey, it's Sirio. Okay, where's your next? I'm going to Merrill Deasy. See, I want to do something like this. I want to pull off a vibe like this inside the house, where, at least with, oh, Jesus, I'm confusing everyone. Where you can, what is it here? Yeah. Yeah, so where you walk in, and this has a pretty, so I think rooms are larger than this, or a bit larger than this. But yeah, you would go in, and you can climb up, and yeah, you can definitely achieve something similar to this. And then you climb up again, and then you have like this crossway through. But then these rooms are just kind of small. Yeah, there's gonna be like more that we'll be able to do later. It's gonna be sick. Like playing with Legos, dude. Like playing with Legos. Someone told me that the new season of Diablo 4 started yesterday, so I'm like, okay, I got a little bit of time. It's like late though. I'm like, I gotta get to bed, and then I end up staying up a little bit later than I should have. But I was playing a bit, and it's hard, actually. There's like these, you go around and you find these rifts, and then outside come out a bunch of bad guys. And so, you know, I'm looking at these rifts and I'm trying to take on when I'm like level 5 or something like that. So it's just a bad idea anyway. But I didn't expect to get just annihilated the way that I did. So I think I'm level 20 something now, and I'm able to handle some of them. But like even like the tougher rifts, like, oh man, I'm getting fucked up. And I'll see like a whole party of us like, oh, let's go, let's do this. And then we all get wiped. I'm like, oh man, these are, you know, it's making the outdoor experience kind of exciting because, yeah, stuff is just whomping on us. So if I can, I'll probably try playing a little bit more today. I'm trying my best to like get my shit done. Mostly Brewfest stuff. Prep for alpha things. Hell, I need to figure out like a schedule. I'm assuming that I'm going to be there for day 1 of the alpha, so I'm like, okay, I gotta like get some extra food, but I can't get too much food because my parents are gonna be in town. Yeah, it's gonna be bleh. Bleh, bleh, bleh. One more chance always been, oh, absolutely. Just one more level, dude. One more level. Let me just get to this. Let me hit this milestone, and then we'll be cool. But then when you hit that milestone, you're actually halfway towards another, and got him. Yeah, that's how they do it, and it works like almost every time. Only time it doesn't is when you're not getting excited because you're like falling asleep already. But I've had many days, you know, back in the day at least, where I'm like playing and then it's like 1 in the morning and then I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna play through until I'm tired, and then the sun's about to come up. Before you know it, I'm like, this is not good. I am not gonna have a good day today because I have work in a few hours. Oh man. But I don't do that. I would get in, like, Dia would give me so much shit over it. Like real, like genuine aggro face. She's an enabler, but not that kind of enabler. No, you don't need sleep. No, she didn't. Yeah, she's not like that. Okay, I think I go down here, right? That's what it was. Yeah. And good morning, Dragon. And no news. But we will wait for noontime. There is that chance of a trading posting at noon. I'm feeling, no, I'm not feeling hangry this morning. Not like yesterday. Oh, yesterday was weird, man. But I'm a bit tired. I might run down and make myself some more coffee. Oh shit. Oh no, I'm missing one. Oh no. Oh wait, no wait. I did. That's right. It doesn't track it individually. Okay, so I'm going to assume that I got them all, and then I'll just like send the stuff out. So. Actually, let me see if I can mail this out. I want to see if they changed it again. Maybe, maybe not. And no, they didn't. Nice try, buddy. Nice try. So 230 off that goes, and that's it. Like, how many of you have had that feeling? Like, was there a certain game where you were like, "Fuck it, I'm just not gonna sleep. Let's go." Aside from maybe WoW, you know, what are some of those games that like just got you hooked like crazy? D4 is fun, but I've had the same Necromancer one button corpse explosion built in every season, so they all feel the same. Me too. I do like the auto play in, have the rings that give you automatic that automatically raise skeletons, and the ring of Mendelin that makes them hit super hard. But the thing with this particular season is that there's like these is that you can have those effects on, you can find gear where you can find those effects in other slots. So it means that I can free up room for different kinds of legendary effects, which is kind of cool. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. So I haven't tried playing around, or I haven't tried theorycrafting like what I could do with that, but I'm sure I can do some like weird, wild shit. One build that I have not tried doing yet though, because I'm pretty sure it's pretty shitty, I want to be able to automatically I want to automatically corpse explode and like have like the really and have like everything around corpse explosion, like what you're talking about. Like what I've been doing. Like, is that what you've been doing? You've been doing corpse explosion and like, because I've been doing minions. That's what I mostly do. So for next, it's mostly an MMO, especially an expansion. Yeah, like I'm trying to think of like what, you know, are there times where like new games just like have me up and playing for a long time? A lot of them are RPGs, because I'm trying to like get to the next area, or I'm trying to finish off like the current story, but then it just keeps going, or it leads into something else, and then I get excited about it. I'm like, oh, I gotta keep playing. Yeah, so I'd say like Final Fantasy games did a pretty good job of that. Pretty good job of ruining me. Yeah. All right, and we're doing it again. So, boop, 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 imports. Let's ride. Let's fly. 7 Total War games are great. 1 more turn games is like time travel. Oh, you know what? You know what fucks me up? The Sims. I do recall how going through The Sims would just suck up a whole evening. I'm like, oh shit, it's getting so fucking late. Cause explosion with the darkness perk, power up the minions, and just stand still and blow up corpses while they kill. The puddles melt everything. Oh, it was so it's the puddles that really like do the work. Yeah, what I do is pretty similar to that. But then I'll focus a bit more on like debuff. So I'll use like to creepify and like to creepify the room or whatever, and then that'll do it. Way back in the day, ripped. Yes, yeah. The way Sims worked, like that was very formulaic because I would wait for like the next day, and then all these milestones would hit, and so I'll be like, all right, let me go through one more day. Let's go through one more day, go through the motions, and then see what skills they get up. I just want to max out their whatever it is stats. Yeah. RimWorld is like The Sims on crack though. Like RimWorld ruins my, it definitely ruins my day. In like the best and worst way. Like when I get like when I get really hooked on RimWorld, then like there goes everything. I'll be like, all right, let me spend some time making a new building and blah, blah, blah. And then something happens. Bandits come and attack. There's a stampede of crazed animals, or one of them just loses their mind and starts like shooting at walls for no reason. Everyone gets pissed and depressed. Oh man, that game is nonstop. But it's but unlike The Sims, it's like dark as hell. It's brutal. Hard to play too. Like it's hard to control, you know, like just like Sims, you can control their behaviors and stuff, but then if you leave them alone, they're gonna do like entirely their own thing. Like I'm not gonna do shit. I'm gonna sit around and play horseshoes all day, or I'm just gonna watch TV because I just can't handle it. My friend died because he got sick, or you know, my mom, she hit her own, she hit a trap that was set up and she got killed, or she lost her leg or something like that. It's wild, man. And then the current expansion of it, you can make a ship, which to me, like that makes it a hell of fun. And then that's what definitely like sucks up evenings, because I'll be like, all right, cool, I'm gonna land in this spot here. I'm gonna be here for a couple days because I'm trying to get to this other destination, and then I end up being stuck there for like way longer because, oh, there was a problem when you landed the ship and like it was damaged, so now it's gonna be like you gotta stay here for like a week. I'm like, a week? Fuck, anything can happen in a week. And then all of a sudden I have all these different problems to like deal with. Oh, there's like this fucking bug infestation. Now like now everyone's gonna die. My friend died because some jackass stole the ladder in our pool. Oh, is that a thing? They can actually take stuff away like that? I didn't realize you can like take, you know, you can alter, that The Sims alter things. Maybe it's been that long since I played. All right. Oh, that's what you mean. Okay. No, I know that like during in RimWorld there are some critical moments where it's like, oh, there's a heat wave. Oh shit, you know, and then you know it gets hot, obviously, and then at the same time, oh, the main AC went out, and then like like 2 people get like super sick or even die because the AC happened to just go out at like the perfect time. Pure chaos. That's your reality? Oh, that sucks, dude. That sucks. Well, unfortunately, in RimWorld, they can't just like go to a coolness, to a those little places where you could just like keep cool and stuff. They have that around here. I don't know how it's like in like other countries, states, or whatever. But like if there's like a big heat wave, they'll open up cooling centers. Yeah, that's what we call them. Cooling centers where it's just like this big space that the city or state rents out. They just have a bunch of cool stuff to help people beat the heat. Of course, some people they'll like go to the mall or whatnot, but then the cooling centers they're like free, so no judgment there. For me, there's like a Costco nearby, and it's a business Costco, so they have like a really big refrigerated area where they have like racks of like produce, meats, that sort of stuff, frozen stuff. And I just walked in right in. I'm like, oh man, so good. Dee will not follow me in there, or she will just to look at food and stuff. But then she'll be like, I'm gonna step out. You hang out here for as long as you like, and I'll last a little bit longer. And here, right? All right. Yeah, him too. Yeah, this warlock just going through the motions. Let's go. Are you guys doing some of this stuff? Doing your Brewfest collections? Not like y'all have to do the same thing I'm doing. Record for my Sims was 11 days. I kid you not, dude would just not stop swimming. Wow. Murder, dude. Murder. I remember one time in RimWorld, there was like these two like people in the colony. They ended up one of them killed the other, and they were so thrilled. They were so thrilled. Like they got into a fist fight. Dude gets injured, and then I forget exactly what happened. I think he was sick too. But then it was just that on top of the fight that he just succumbed to his injuries and died. Dude was ecstatic for like days, long days. Like you saw a buff, happy his enemy was destroyed or killed or whatever, and like, oh man. I'm like, who's next on the list? Sheesh. Working on Lore Master. Ooh, brutal, dude. But I went out so far, and I need like 7k coins for everything since I got nothing. I'm gonna try to discourage you from setting a goal of 7,000. That's a lot. I would advise I would advise giving yourself a tier list. Make up a tier list of the things that it's like, oh, I really want to have this because this looks dope. Versus, I can live without this. I know that I want it, but I'm not going to use it all the time. That kind of thing. Because it's so easy for gamers to fall into like those mental health traps and get stuck in this miserable space. I mean, you do you. If you want to subject yourself to that, cool. But I try not to do that to folks. I don't think it's. I think I'm assuming, right? But I think most folks would prefer not to function like that, because then you think to yourself, oh, there's all these other things that I haven't done, and that starts to really weigh on you mentally, to where it feels like, oh, why even bother with this, because it's just too much. It's that whole sense of completionism that where people threaten to overwhelm themselves. But the pets and toys so far, so just 5K to go. Yeah, I'm typically the type who will encourage people, hey, you know what, set some attainable goals for yourself, where possible. Like, I'm just going for these 2 transmog sets, and I'm good. I'm good. There's like some other stuff that I'm missing, and some stuff that I know I'm just never gonna get, because I'm not like a big pet or mount person. Now, I think my attitude might change a little bit when housing comes out, because hey, let's say we find out, you know, you can have all these different pets inside your house, just like the garrison, and then you can have like a stable where you can have some of your favorite mounts out there, just like the garrison. That'll be cool, and you know, at least the me of right now, I feel satisfied with what I have. I think there's just like some more dogs that I want to get, because I just want dogs. That's it. Puppies everywhere. Because just like how people want to feel like they own a house because they can't in real life, I mentally can't handle owning a dog again. So I'll just have dogs in WoW for now. We have been talking about getting a dog though. We just want to be able to take care of certain business and all that before we make that sort of commitment again. It's tough too though, because like I can't handle dogs that shed. I gotta have a hypoallergenic dog, and it's really hard to find like poodle mixes and stuff in shelters. It's very, very hard. Like, they're super competitive. So I feel like the best hope of that is to wait until after the holidays, because you know how some people, they'll give pets as gifts for Christmas or whatnot, but then things don't work out for whatever reason, and then they end up in the shelter. So I'm like, okay, maybe if I like keep an eye out at that time, then maybe I'll get lucky and find someone. Because I remember, and I felt bad about this, or I felt, okay, well, I had mixed feelings about it, but like my previous dog, Toffee, he was not a shelter dog. Like I got him, or my mom, it was my mom's idea. So because my sister had a dog, she got him from a breeder. My mom was like, ooh, let's get a dog, and so she got him from the same breeder. But then I did pretty much all the raising, and he was basically my dog anyway. But people were very judgy about it, and I was feeling bad. You know, people were like, oh, how dare you do that? You're supporting blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, this is my puppy and I love my puppy. Can't we just focus on that instead of, you know, y'all talking shit? I'm like, that's me. I was hurt by that. Anyway. So you're aiming for the black kilt set, the dark iron set, and maybe the other berets. Yeah, there's like the whole farming the event too for like those appearances. That's gonna take a while. I think I'll kind of take my time on that too. I got 13 characters at 80, so I do 39 runs of Nighthold each week for the green mount. So this brew stuff ain't nothing. Okay, so you're that kind of person. I ain't gonna judge. But I have made arguments that most people don't do that. You're not most people. Some folks are just very exceptional players, and they'll just, you know, they'll go through with it. I'm probably going to snag one of the new cool robot doggos I saw. Saw one for 500. Wheels for legs, plays fetch and stuff, doesn't poop, doesn't shed, etc. I have not seen those. I mean, not pooping and shedding, that's a big plus. But I gotta have that chaos. Like, you want a puppy? I got, you know, it's like the whole package. Oh, you have 2 goldens from a breeder now. You can't find them here in shelters. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna keep it. You know, I'm gonna keep an eye out. But I don't think I can. I like Dia said this, and I agree with her. Like, I can't handle going to a shelter. I wouldn't be able to handle it because I'll go there and I'll see all these puppies that are like, "Oh, look at us," because I'm the worst, man. I'm so jacked in the head. Um, I will empathize and I will just feel bad and I'll want to take everyone home, and then I'll cry because I can't save them all, and it'll crush me. And she's like, I can't put you through that. I can't let you go through that. She's like, you're not gonna go. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna go. Just Google robot dog on Amazon. They have it. Also, if you want chaos, I have a Japanese, a tiny little dog. One time found him in the fridge. On the fridge? What the fuck? That's wild. Okay, let's look at this. Amazon. And then you said just look up a robot dog, huh? Okay. Robot dog. Oh, okay. Okay, these are like cheap. I want to see like a crazy. Okay, so here's one: a robot pet dog that runs off a Chat GPT. Okay. Oh, and it has weird facial expressions, but it doesn't have a tongue that hangs out. That's boring. To me, that's how you find out if a puppy's happy. If the tongue hangs out and he's like, heh, 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 right? My aunt went to a shelter, came home with 7 dogs, moved into a farm, and sold her house in town. Damn. Yeah, I don't think I can do that. Like, if I was like YouTube famous or whatever, I would probably want to try and or if I was just like rich. If I was rich, I would want to do something like have a whole dog ranch kind of thing. That'd be cool. I don't think I'd want to work on it. I would just want to bankroll it though. I want to, because that would be my part. I want to help save puppies and stuff. Oh, did I already do this one? Okay, I already did do this one. What shoulders are those that I have on? Great question. What are these shoulders? These shoulders are oh, this is from the recent this season. So these are the veteran versions of Paladin shoulders. Yeah. The veteran Paladin shoulders. So the heroic ones, it's like a very strong red and gold. So that has has a very strong blood elf vibe to it. And we're doing random shit. Let's go. Boop. Oh yeah. Now we're for real. I love the kind of lavender shoulders too. Sick, bro. Ever have ChatGPT write fan fiction? No, I have I kind of have a disdain for AI related stuff. Sometimes it seems kind of funny to do, but I'm never going to. I don't think I'll ever apply it to anything. I would use it to like humor myself and nothing else. So maybe like as you're saying, but I don't think I enjoy it as a tool. I feel like thanks to one internet and two AI, like this next generation, like the generation that grows up where AI has already been like a mainstream thing, they're gonna be, sorry guys, they're gonna be fucking dumb. I can't help but think that it's gonna be like just Yeah, it's gonna be rough. And where's the waypoint? Oh no, no, I got that one already. Here we go. This one. I mean, it's wild. You have people who apply for jobs and they have their cover letter, resume, and all that stuff made by AI. The HR people, they use, I mean, they've been using automation, but you know, they're gonna use that plus AI to read those things. And like, how do people get jobs? I don't know. People say the same thing about calculators. Yeah, but what do calculators, it's pretty limited though. You can't tell a calculator to draw a picture or to write a speech or to make your cover letter resume by inputting all this info. You know, this is like some next level shit. It's many magnitudes greater than just a calculator. Like, I buy into this generational belief. I buy into the idea that millennials are smarter than the previous generations and the later ones, because millennials, they grew up before the internet became a thing, and they were also around to see it change, you know, to see the internet become a thing and the new technology and stuff. So I feel like that generation is teaching both the young and the old people how technology works, because otherwise, you know, these newer and older generations, they just consume it, but they don't really understand how it works. Is what I've noticed. Sometimes the application, knowing how and when to use the tool is more important than what the tool can do. Yeah, and that's kind of the case that I'm making about why I think that these new generations that are going to grow up with AI being the thing, they're just going to be dumb, because they don't need to do any of that stuff. They don't need to understand the applications of stuff. They're just going to be like, hey, just do my homework or some shit like that. All right. What's next? Like, I think of AI along the same line. You know, I look at it with the same dystopian outlook as certain things of the internet, social media, a lot of social media, algorithms and stuff like that. It just fucks with people's heads, man. What was the add-on I called? I forgot the ping one for more than one. This thing right here, map pin enhanced. Map pin enhanced. And I go north now. Had a kid come and ask and apply for a job. Told it's all done online. His response: "I don't have a computer." Lol. Wow. Wait, does he have a phone or something? I mean, I guess that's the point, right?
These are earthen resources.
Oh, wrong way. How many people in 2000s could set up the time on their VCR? I mean, it's the same people that set up their DVR or whatever that was at the time. So at least that technology just kind of slid from one thing to the next. And then on demand just like wrecked all of that. Now it's over. Oh wait, this way, right? Yes. Not sure if his parents provided him one. Libraries, and I presume most schools have them. We're doomed. Is that an add-on for all the pins? Yes. It's called Map Pin Enhanced. Quite useful for this sort of thing. I'll make sure to feature it next week since there's still going to be one more week of the Brewfest stuff. Like, yo, just go here and I'll provide like the strings. I mean, I got them from Wowhead, so I'll give credit to the Wowhead poster who put these up. But yeah, just copy and paste it as a temporary thing and then just knock them out. Boop-a-da-boo. Or TomTom, you know, TomTom works fine too. I prefer map pins because it lets me be more conscious of the screen as opposed to keeping my eyes locked to an arrow, because that throws me off. Has Handy Downs put one out yet? I'm not sure. I remember I tried looking there first. I didn't see anything, so I'm like, okay, I'll just use this because this works fine too. Perhaps teachers will start requiring presentations rather than paper so that the person has to at least do enough work to at least memorize what the AI wrote or have enough knowledge to speak on it. I mean, I have no idea how school works these days, but it's like, you know, it would be kind of nice if they did something like, you know, instead of writing a paper that you turn in, like, you know, like a long paper, a research paper or whatever, knowing that there are tools that really make those sorts of things obsolete, like maybe just like things to demonstrate comprehension that you got to do like in class. So at least while people might still use something, they'll still do research or even try to rehearse what they're going to write by like, hey, AI, write me a thing. And then they just kind of like try to copy it off the top of their head. At least they're sort of thinking for themselves. Sort of? I don't know. You just got the remotes? What remote are you talking about? Are you talking about the Dire Brew? The ones that take you to I forgot the name of the place. The Grim Guzzler. There we go. Grim Guzzler. Am I working on Brewfest stuff? Yes, I am. Yeah, I'm just trying to amass some, as much as I can. I have, how much do I have? 461 so far. I've been spending a lot. So I completed one of the Dark Iron sets, and now I'm just working on like the more casual Brewfesting stuff. But yeah, I'm just kind of going through the motions, hanging out with y'all. Besides the raid mods, DBM, and details, I use Hangouts and Rarescan, and that's it. I don't really like a lot of mods. I love mods. I'll do it for like any little thing if I can, as long as it's stable. I don't like things that do things for me, though. You know, I try to limit that. Like combat add-ons, I'm very limited on. But like, there's quite a few like quality of life things that I feel like are really, really useful. Craft scan, unfortunately, feels like the best way to compete with trying to fulfill work orders and stuff. The way things are. That way I can like quickly respond to stuff. But yeah, I use a bunch. But they don't do too much. So like the extra quest button, I like having that so I can easily just have a hotkey for it. Dynamic cam so I can change the angle of my characters. I don't think I have it. Do I have it done here? Yeah. So this is the really subtle add-on. Dynamic cam. Like not everyone will notice that what you see on screen right now is not normal. Like normally, let me show you. Normally, people look at WoW like this. Their character is in the dead center of the screen, no matter what. You know, yeah. So you have all this space here, and for me, like I don't like that. So I use this add-on to reduce what I see behind me. But if I'm looking overhead, you know, it'll still kind of return the character closer to the center of the screen. Not entirely, but you know, sort of. Actually, I think I should change that a little bit. I think I can do that. I think I have to play with this. Yeah, I think it's that. Yeah, if I change the downscale. So that way, when I'm looking overhead and I'm doing a fight where I need to try to see everything around me, then that'll be easier. But otherwise, if I'm looking on this angle, then I have more view space up here as opposed to down here. I've talked about this add-on a lot over the years, so it's one of my favorites. Great quality of life thing that a lot of people just don't notice. You show in class your method to find the information that's often presented. Verifying stuff and understand and answering questions why you did this or that to show. Yeah, so that'd be kind of cool if it was like a peer review where you present stuff and then you let the audience ask you questions, or you let the other students ask you questions. I'm kind of used to that format a little bit. I remember getting that format in college. Ooh, man. That was many moons ago. All right, one more. Oh, actually, it was here. Go. When the tokens become warbound, a few hours into Brewfest. Yeah. A few hours in, they hotfixed them. They made them warbound. You can't mail them out, but you can use the warbank thing and just, you know, pop it open, throw stuff in there, and then trade them. So nice and easy. Next. In my graphic settings, down at the very bottom, there's the 4 checkmark boxes. Do I run those, or do you have a higher end GPU? I have a higher end GPU. I'm running off of 5090 now. So I am very out of touch when it comes to performance and all that stuff. What's my frame rate? 60. 60 frames, baby. I lock my frames at 60. That way my temps are low. That's really it. Because this room gets hot, man. Ooh boy. Yeah, so I keep my temps low. Well, okay, it's two things. One, one is the temps. Two, my monitors, all my monitors are 60 hertz. So I wouldn't even know what, 300,000 frames look like. So am I running 60? Yeah, so you can see down there. Actually, is it 60 or 59? Yeah, 60. So that's it. Otherwise, everything's maxed out. The only thing I don't have on is the lighting thing. What is that called? Ray tracing. There you go. Yeah, that's it. Otherwise, everything is... Woo. Oh yeah, my A was off. So let me just... I forget what's the proper thing, but... Yeah. Otherwise, I don't really notice anything. Boop. It'll be winter too. Yeah, that's when I'll unlock it. So, yep, time to turn on the heater. But, you know, it's also like, do I really want to spend more money on the electricity so I can enjoy some better frames? No, I don't need that. So, I'm sure I can optimize too. I'm sure if I did enough testing, I'd be able to locate like what the biggest bottleneck is. Because if I let's see. Yeah, so it's like a buck something or other. Otherwise, and this is with everything up. But yeah, I don't know. Ta-da! And I'm happy. And I better be happy for the next... My next card better be like, let's see, we're at 5 right now. 6, at least 7. 7,000 series. Whatever. That's when I'll get a new one. Like, I'm gonna work this bitch to the ground. I'm gonna murder this thing. If I can hold out to like for like 3 generations, that would be like peak. Because this is $2,000. I didn't get sponsored for this. Like, this is an expensive ass card. It was hard to get. It was thanks to someone here on Guild and stream who was able to help me secure it. So big thanks to him. Lock mine at 144, but when it goes below 75, I need to notice it quickly when I run for a bucket. A bucket? I have vertigo. I need that 75 to avoid getting... Oh, that's interesting. So 75 specifically is what helps you maintain that. Interesting. Hey, everyone's different, right? Fortunately, you know, because I'm limiting myself to the 60, I don't really need to care about getting like higher end monitors. So some of the cost is offset in exchange for hopefully future-proofing myself for a couple of video card generations. That's the hope, usually. All right, let's. I forgot to add this thing in. Boop. And let's go. Field of view and jittery motion seems to trigger an uneven ground. I hate this patch. Oh, so like navigating through Koresh is uneven for you? Human eye can't perceive above 40. If you can, you're normal. Oh, I can definitely tell the difference between, you know, different frame rates. Because like for me, like, you know those 4K TVs that are like super nice and the frames look like buttery smooth? Like, that's weird to me. I hate the look of that. It's so unsettling for me. Like, I'm used to older shit. It just doesn't look right. So I'm scared to get a TV that looks like that. I'm like, can I turn this off? And I do get vertigo in certain cases. Like in Undermine, there is the sticks fight. You know, when you jump onto, or as a, you know, when you're randomly thrown onto a ball and you got to go around and pick stuff up. Like, that makes me nauseous. That legit makes me nauseous. So like the game Katamari Damacy, I can't play that. If I play it for more than 10 minutes, I'm gonna get sick. But that's the only thing that would make me feel unwell, in a video game. Just that sort of motion. Very weird, but oh well. I just avoid it. So like during progression, during that fight, I was like, so we needed to like think of a way to finagle with the tanking, so that way my co-tank always did the rolls. Sometimes I would do it because there'd be a screw up or something like that, or a threat thing. But for the most part, like he always did the balls, and I just tanked. I just held on to the boss and sucked it up. Do you put scanlines on classic game emulators? No. That part doesn't bother me. It is an interesting phenomenon on how the scan lines, because that's how things were built into TVs back then. They made the games look smooth. They offered curvature, but then without it, then it's very, very heavily pixelated. So we were fooled as children. How dare they? After playing well since vanilla, I finally turned on the sharpening command and made the game look much better. It took a bit to see the differences, but now I can't take it off anymore. I mean, I admit I'm spoiled. Like the way WoW looks is fantastic, because I run off of I run a 4K monitor, so nice and big and detailed, and it makes it so that when I make screenshots, the resolutions on them are huge. So when I finally size them down, they look pretty good for the viewer. Just finished all newly added Transmog. Very nice. Grats. Am I using the sharpening console command? I heard of it, but I am not right now. You don't give it to me. And I think hopefully I can reset it if I don't like it. And then I'll just show a close-up of my beautiful, beautiful self. Or I might have it on already and I don't know it. Yeah, let's see it. Show me. Yeah, no problem, dude. I can wait. I can stretch in the meantime. Oh, boy. We'll T Brothers. Here's a little darker than mine due to age, though. Is it? Maybe it's because it's not like a close-up. Because I got some grays like right here and elsewhere. So yeah, I got some grays up here too. I mean, that's puberty for you, right? You feel me? Yeah. Wait till you hit college, dude. Then it's gonna be wild. Max said she liked the gray because it is distinguished looking. I never quite got that, but I fall for it too. Yeah. Took a moment for me to see the difference, but after a while the game doesn't look fuzzy for me anymore. I mean, it doesn't look fuzzy for me now, but yeah. Because I mean, what I see here is going to look different for you guys. Like, what resolution am I doing this on? I'm because I downscale. Yeah, so I'm downscaling to 1080. So it should look really sharp for you guys. Or it should look pretty crisp. Or maybe not, I don't know. Okay, so let me take a look and see if that is already in. So CBAR browser, sample. Okay, so it actually already is set to 1. Yeah. So I did do it. I did do it at some point. Okay, let me set it to let me set it to default actually. So let's set it to 0. And then 1 again. 0 1. I'm not. Yeah, it's hard to tell. You know, let me leave it off again, right? And then we'll see how I feel about this, if I even notice a difference. You know, this might be those, you know, the case where it's like, okay, like my shit is so maxed out that I'm not going to notice a difference, really. Yeah, 0 is by default, and it's not something you can normally change, so. Well, Sluggers is a relative of mine who looks at her monitor and states the frame rate within 10% or so with a glance. As for the gray, Mixel, of you got some experience. Some experience at what? Just being alive? That's how I look at it. It's, oh, so you live longer than the settlers. That's cool. An orc armor shows better when there's fur. Okay. It could be that. Yeah, and using like a super high-end card with all sorts of other fancy features might just make it look different. Set render scale to 0.99. Isn't that the same as... isn't it this? So if I set it to not 100%? Okay, I think I do need to... Because I remember one way to better your frame rate is to lower this by a little bit. I mean, don't render it too low. Because then, you know, then it's going to look like... Then it's going to look really fuzzy. Like, now it looks like... It looks like someone put a plastic screen over my monitor. You know, but I'm sure let's see how my frames are now. Okay, Dragon House is kind of a weird spot to do this, but yeah, it's like that high right now. And then if I crank this up too high, boop. Like, that's not even that bad, because now it's like a giga crisp. Now it's as if I have like I'm running this off of a 8K monitor, but that's not good. Like I said, trying to keep my temps down. Keep the temps down. All right. Anyway. Yeah, let me try to do the 0.99 and see like just what that says for the resolution here. So let's see if I can like tell the difference immediately or not. So we set it to and then did anything actually change? Okay, it is set to 99%. Yep, no difference. Or no difference that I can tell. So let me show this off again. I'm sure between 99 and 97, or by using the slider, it's not going to be that noticeable. So here's 101. $98, 100, 98, 100. Nope, can't tell. Oops. Close, exit. Yeah. Oh well. I mean, for different kinds of systems, it'll probably be, you know, way more noticeable. When I'm playing Classic, I can cap the entire game out on this PC laptop and set at 60 frames consistently, but with more recent content, it's a fight to get to 60. Oh, on Classic as well? Or is it just on like War Within stuff? Alright. I hate the render scale junk. I always disable at a driver level. To me, it's like looks like someone's got Vaseline on the screen or something. But the whole I'm going to render at 720p and blow it up, it will be fine. Yeah, that I don't like. I mean, because as someone who makes content, I want to make like really crisp shots. Like if I'm doing something like, making a thumbnail, I'm going to want it to look good in the actual screenshot. Like otherwise, then it's just not going, it's just going to pop all funny. So like Narcissus has like this set here where you can temporarily max everything out for the purpose of doing screenshots. It's very helpful, and then it turns it, and then it brings it back to the original settings once you are done. So like here we go. So like top quality, set every option in the graphics setting to max. Your previous settings will be restored after exit. So like that helps a lot. But yeah, you don't want to mess around when you're making like nice screenshots and what have you, because then that's just irresponsible. Just don't look good. All right, speaking of, let's look good. Let's go. Let's go. Actually, let me do the separate shoulder thing too. Boom. Oh yeah. Nothing like having a staff on one hand, this weird looking pole arm thing on the other, and of course we got like a nice cute little face. Yay. All right, next spots. I'm kind of like kind of falling behind here. Well, add-on is that that's Narcissus. Narcissus is it's a cool tool for giving you like a different sort of paper doll effect. I happen to mostly use it for screenshots. So here's Narcissus in action as well when you use it as a paper doll. Actually, it'd be better if I was like here. Actually, let me go back and then do it again. So it'll like recenter. So it uses different kinds of tech to achieve this sort of effect where you have like the slow rotation. You have, let me do it one more time. There we go. So you can achieve an effect kind of like this, and then see all your gear. So it's a nice skin if you want to full screen your paper doll, and otherwise if you want to show this off to other people too, like, hey, here's a screenshot of my character, check it out, it looks so badass. But I happen to use the other side of it that lets you create screenshots. So what people can do, you can take your character, and then you can add in multiple characters. So here I'll just like add in 2 of me, and then like have one like do a funny pose or whatever. Like, oh no, like they are, they got hit by something because this person did like some sort of like an attack, and they had their swords out, and let's see how we do that. Like they did like a that sort of thing, like I got stabbed in the junk or something like that, and then you can green screen it, throw them on a different background or whatever. So you'll see me do that like a whole ton, because for my thumbnails. So I'll be able to grab this as a full transparency and then throw it on to whatever background. And then because I use the resolution and settings that I'm at, even when I zoom in, it's not until you go really, really deep when you start seeing the pixelation. Otherwise, you're not going to see that stuff at all when it goes onto a thumbnail. Thumbnails are only, YouTube thumbnails are 720p. They're not very big. So when I bring it down like this looks very nice and crisp, and it pops really well. So. And now you know. Without your consent. You learned something. Haha. 720p on a 4K screen. They're super. Yeah, they're really small. And then when it's brought down to just thumbnails, then they just look good. So. Haven't used Narcissus in a long time. That look like a whole Photoshop suite in action with picture tools up. Yeah, no, it's very robust. It's the same. It's made by the same guy who makes Plumber. He's like a very talented add-on maker person. I don't know what his day job is, but yeah, he does really good work. No doubt, he's probably making something for the Legion remix too. I don't know how that would work out though. I think it's much more difficult to do something like that because the Legion remix skills and abilities, that's managed with gear, and the gear could always change. So I'm sure that creates a more unique challenge. But anyway, back to the stuff. I wish you could swap the shoulder pads in game. It'd be cool if I can use the same type of shoulder pad for the left and the right. I think that'd be kind of neat, but currently not a thing. You know, I figured that this keg would be like over in Tirakai. It's funny how Tirakai is like, it's like it feels like a capital because it has like trainers and all this other stuff. Like I wonder what kinds of earlier plans they had and like what had changed. See, teaching Earthen style. Next time you talk to Earthen to get a skill, watch the animation. They literally bellow in a full-on battle roar and open palm face strike the knowledge up your nose into what the hell? Like that's what they're used to. I mean, they are like constructs and whatnot. So I guess they like literally jam knowledge, you know, up through your nose into your brain. Smart. They call that efficient. All right. Whee. Yeah, with my earthen style. Bwomp, 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 bwomp. Anyway. I high-fived your face. It's just what we do. It's a custom thing. On the decant, I want to put a blue skull for my ICC right on my left, and okay. What question am I posting in the forums? I have not posted any yet. I would post too many. Yeah. I mean, I have bullet points of things that I want to ask, but I think how much time is there left until they, yeah, how much time is left until they do that? Until they close it? You just want to update the post? Okay. I'll probably like chain them together. So when I do it, I'm just gonna like spam. And then if you guys are interested in upvoting them, then cool. I'll try to keep them short. That way they're like readable. But I guess it's my fault. Like I should submit them earlier. That way more people can look at it and then upvote it, and then it'll get looked at by Randy. But oh well. Orca Demon Hunters win. So October 1st, yeah, October 1st is Q&A. But then is there like a window to submit questions? Because there's multiple ways that you can submit questions. Like there's I think there's a Reddit post, I think there's a Twitter and Blue Sky post, and all those things I think they said they are going to consider when taking questions. So but I've been holding off. I've been playing Diablo. Doing other stuff, you know. You got the rare drop mace from Demencies. Oh, it's a rare drop mace. Oh no. Oh, you're talking about, wait, no, that's Demencies. What rare drop mace is that? he meant to us. Oh, yeah, because I know that Nexus King drops this one. That's very rare. Yeah. Oh, so it's this one. That's a cool one. It's straight up like one of those. It's straight up the stars that we have to blow up. Like, imagine getting hit with a black hole or an exploding star kind of thing. It's neat. But yeah, congrats, dude. I support that lore-wise. After being betrayed and made angry and green by Manroth, I can't imagine anyone else in the Horde with as much beef with the demons as the orcs. I still think that first in line, you know, when the demon hunter's like, who wants to join us? Who wants to go to demon hunter school? Mechanomes will be like, we do! We do! Demon Hunter's like, are you serious? They're like, hell yeah, dude. We already have like Demon Hunter cosplay, and they already made like demon bodies and stuff. Like, yeah, check it out, this is so cool. Now we get a real demon body. Fuck yeah. They're like peak. I know it sounds like a joke, but at the same time, like, it would be so in character for Mechanomes to be like first in line to be like anything. Druids, dude. We can build new forms. Hell yeah. We can just cheat and, you know, go that route. Same thing for demon hunters. Same thing for evokers. We just gotta. We need to have dragon abilities? Dude, we'll just install dragon parts. We'll build wings. Dude, we got this. We got 3D printers and everything. Yeah, that'd be the play. They would be ahead of the game of everyone else. Oh, why can't I be an undead paladin? So when it comes to questions, I have some experience asking questions. It's easy to fall into traps because a lot of the time questions are, can we get this? Can we get that? When is this going to happen? Blah, 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 blah. And that's usually a trap because what the team can very easily say is, you know, we're talking about that internally. We have nothing to announce now, but when the time comes, you know, we'll let you know. And it's like, oh, great. Oh, that sucks. You know, with regards to race class combos, there might be a better way to ask those sorts of questions to get real information or at least insights as to what's going on. Like I'm just making up examples here. So like asking like, what are you know, just getting reminders or just getting them to state their thoughts on like what is it that you know, what are some of the factors that hold back implementing a race class combo? You know, and we might hear things that we already know or that they've already said before, but getting them to say those things as opposed to like a canned answer where they don't have to say anything very specific, it makes that question feel wasted, unfortunately. But the thing is, Nephilim, we've been asking that, and they've been able to give canned answers for that every time. I think the latest one that we saw or heard from Paul Cubitt was with the mention of Void Elf Demon Hunters. Like, hey, they basically said, hey, the story, we just need the story to go there, and it's going to happen. Well, of course, being satisfied, you know, of course, players aren't satisfied with that answer, but that's what they're going to keep saying until it actually happens. And we know it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. So gamers are just asking, okay, is it now? Is it now? Is it now? And we're not going to get a good answer because the only good answer is, okay, this is when it's coming. So it ends up being a wasted question, which kind of sucks. Yeah, Brennan, you're kind of. I think you're getting you're getting warm there. And that sort of question would be something that you ask about evokers. Of course, they're going to say we have no plans at the moment because it sounds like that's not real. There isn't really an appropriate time for that yet. I think they have on lore reasons, which can be valid, but there might be other reasons they just won't share. Yeah, like for example, Paladin race class combos. That feels like it's gotta be a thing by now, right? Because even when I say, oh, they just need to write the story, they've been writing multiple stories that suggest more paladins for other races. Like notably, towards the end of Dragonflight, there was that whole tier quest line with the new order, and that gives an opportunity to be like, hey, we got a new paladin school, who wants in? And Mechanoms are like, we do. You know. Oh, but then other folks would be welcome to join as well. I know people like to bring up the Legion character, the Night Elf priest who became a paladin. Like that's another easy reference too, but that's in reference to a single character, whereas the tier quest line creates a whole new order. You know, it creates that infrastructure to be like, okay, this is where they're coming from. You know, this is where the other races are coming from. This is where they're going to, you know, apply for paladin school. So that's the kind of that'd be the difference. Legion wrote a ton of stories, and the tier quest line they just keep passing by. It's to the point for me that it's actually getting frustrating. Just need to not hang on it so much. That's all. You know, it's up to us to decide how impatient we want to be. In the end, at least. It'd be cool if they did a class quest sort of thing like they did with the races that come later. If like you do a quest line, and then all your future races can be that class. I mean, it's kind of like well, they didn't do that for warlocks, but they did have a quest line, if I recall. I never did it myself, but I know that there was like a certain warlock quest line that introduces how other races are being introduced to becoming warlocks. And I don't think that was necessary to unlock warlocks for all the races. They just did it, but then they explained it with that further context. I don't think it should be an unlock. I think it should just be given, and then, you know, have that be a sort of quest thing like later for people who want to enrich themselves for the story behind that. But I think like if a brand new player wants to get in and they're like, oh, I want to make this paladin thing, then they should be able to choose like all the races that are available for them, aside from maybe allied races or whatnot. They did it for also the silly 30-minute quest. I don't think it was that silly. I thought people liked it for the most part. So the stalling of the tank shortage was an issue. Oh, okay. I don't think tank shortages. I think that's a different conversation. I think that's a. I don't see that as a great point to bring up. You know, by saying, oh, well, if they expanded race class combos, then more people would tank. That's not going to change anything. That wouldn't change a damn thing. I 107% guarantee that. Yeah, like people who are saying, oh, they need shaman tanks. Like that'll be cool as a gimmick, but I don't think it's going to do anything to increase the population of tanks. There's just always going to be there's always going to be more DPS than there are tanks and healers. And the more classes that you introduce, it's not gonna change anything either. You're still gonna have like those sorts of populations. The only way to really disturb the Trinity is to break it, and I don't see that happening either. I've at least convinced myself of that take. I might be wrong, but 107, yeah, 107%. I thought this through. The Demon Hunter set is called Charhound's Vicious Hunt. The helm looks like the head of a Charhound, and Demolocks can summon Charhounds. Well, Demon Hunters and Warlocks, they've been, they've always been, pretty closely related because of their origins with Fel, demons, and that sort of stuff. So having some things be shared, it's kind of like, it feels like kind of a tightrope they walk. From a PvP's perspective, and I think human gnome shaman would increase the healers a little, from like a racial standpoint, but it would just make the existing players change. I don't think it would get people to tank more. Chances are what would get people to tank more would be if tanking did DPS numbers. That would be the kind of shift people would be looking for, because then you get DPS wanting to achieve those kinds of numbers, but then the whole responsibility thing, then that would kind of dull the enthusiasm there. We had new specs. It's the same pool of people that play new specs. It's very rare that players dip in unfamiliar roles, regardless of if it looks cool or not. I mean, people will experiment, try things out, give it a shot. But I'd like to believe that they trend to stick to their typical roles, because that's the lens at which they enjoy World of Warcraft. That's how they like looking at this game, through that certain viewpoint. Exceptions would be like competitive players, who will play the class, the role, whatever that's needed, because they want to feel like that sort of exceptional player in the game. And that's cool, that's fine. But as for changing the populations, I think there different things need to happen in order for people to want to do that. But it basically be tantamount to breaking the Trinity. Everyone can heal. Everyone can tank. Because then you just disrupt that whole conversation as a whole. But I don't think that would work out too great.
Someone didn't get the message. These are earthen resources.
90% of people that avoid tank and healer roles is because they don't want to feel the responsibility those roles imply. And part of it, it's not just the whole, oh, you're kind of a leadership person, or that you have, or that your role is consequential, whereas if you don't perform, then people die. It's different from, hey, everyone's got to not stand in the fire, or everyone's got to stand in that thing so they can prevent the whole raid from dying, because if you don't, then everyone gets, it's different. But one thing that's a little bit understated is that when you are a tank or a healer, especially in a social setting, you become indispensable immediately. And then there's that new kind of pressure of, yo, where's our tank? Who's, dude, where are they? And then you don't have it. And it's like, oh man. But then that person feels pressure. Oh, I gotta be on. So, and some people will take that role because it's indispensable. I don't want to lose my spot. That's the best way to do it. Just be the role that is absolutely needed. I have a ton of DPS, on my team. I can do without him. But when one or two healers don't show up for reasons, then I'm like, oh, fuck, we're in trouble. But some people don't want to feel needed like that. They want to be able to be like, hey, I got to dip out. Or I'm not feeling too well tonight. I'm going to take the day off. And if it's a DPS person, cool. Thanks for letting me know. I appreciate that. When I hear someone be like, when I hear like a healer be like, hey, I'm not gonna show, I'm like, fuck, what do I do? Because I'm not the type who's gonna be like, oh, I'm just gonna pug one. Yeah, it's no problem. That's not me either. Weird social. I don't think that's weird, but you know, some people just aren't comfortable with wanting to be a role that's needed because everyone has different kinds of social obligations. Not everyone can show up every day for raid because whatever, but they want to be able to play the game, so they're TPS, and hopefully they'll join a team who's okay with people not showing up every day. Not everyone's okay with that. If the tank dies, it's the healer's fault. If the healers die, it's the tank's fault. If the DPS dies, stay out of the fire. Yeah, these days people have like such fantastic toolkits to stay alive, pop immunities, things like that. That now it feels like we're leaning deeper into this sense of like personal responsibility. Hey, did you pop your cooldowns to stay alive during that one high damage phase? No. Well, shit. Now we're fucked. Bug in this economy, right? Refer to our DPS as in DPS line as the monkeys with pointy sticks, so I'm sure they really appreciated that. I don't mind tanking, but I won't heal PvE. DPS is ideal for me with three and a half year old that needs attention, usually during phase 2 and every boss. That's hilarious and very specific. For me, tanking keeps me awake. Healing would keep me awake too, but I like tanking more. Yeah. Or, you know what? Tanking's just easier. Tanking's easier than healing. DPSing puts me to sleep. I get so bored DPSing. Now, I think it's partially because I don't make a good enough effort to play at like a really high level. It's very experimental, and I'm trying to find a groove, but I'm also like boring myself too. As opposed to being like, okay, I did this well, but now I want to eke out like 5% more damage so I can like do blah blah blah, this kind of performance, and then I'll parse. You know, so I think it's because I don't feel that sort of motivation. DPSing is just real, you know, it's part of the reason why DPSing just feels boring to me. Like, if I was a tank that focused just on DPSing, I'd be bored as well. Like, I'm like, no, I gotta off heal. I gotta do that sort of stuff. I want to push those numbers instead. And that's what keeps me entertained and motivated to do better. But also, because I'm focusing so much on healing, I'm not doing enough damage. I do very, very low damage as a paladin tank, which is a spec that people are saying, oh, they don't do a lot of damage already, which means it's easy for my off tank to rip threat off me, which means I gotta play that much better, which means I am playing at like this kind of high level where I'm like, okay, I gotta get a bit more threat out and blah, blah, blah. So it kind of ends up working out. And wait, where's the thing? Why am I getting lost all of a sudden? Okay, not there. Yeah. Oh, wait, isn't this the one where I gotta go down an elevation or something like that? No. Oh, there it is. Jeez, man. You fall asleep tanking? I'm also doing like the raid leading and call outs and stuff, so that helps too. There was like during the weeks where I had COVID and I wasn't talking, I did get kind of bored. I'm like, yo, it wasn't until like progression when I'm like aggressively trying to type. I'm like, no, we're not doing it right. We gotta try this strategy instead. But when I was just quietly tanking while listening to the raid do their thing, I'm like, yeah, wasn't nearly as stimulating. Like, you don't do the raid callouts. See, it's funny because like I'll delegate some of it. Some people, they're pretty good at it. Some fights it's not ideal for me. So like the dude with the walls, Fractalus. So like that one fight, like the way we do it on heroic, lanes 1 and 2 are considered safe at the start. So lane 1 is where the tanks are, lane 2 is where everyone else is, and then everyone else spreads to the other ones for the walls. So what that means is, because I'm on the far left side, if I'm trying to look at the rest of the group, the angle gets all fucked up, because then I'm like moving my camera, panning it to the right, but then my character like zooms all the way in, and I can't get a good view of everyone. The only way I'd be able to do that is if I was on the opposite end, because then the angle would work out better, but then that would fuck me up, because then I'm out of range of all the healers. I'm like, oh wait, that's not gonna work out either. And people, and at least with my team, people didn't like the safe zones being in the middle. That would be ideal. I'd be able to see the most that way, but I don't. And hold on. Okay, I smelled burning, but it was barbecue. We're fine. Everything's good. Oh, did I miss one? I think I missed one. Really? Well, I guess I did, so. No, I thought I smelled something burning, so I'm like, sorry, hold on. Safe zone not near mid seems weird. Yeah. Like, that's what I first proposed, and the team did not like it. So I'm like, okay, let's try this instead. And then it worked, so. And remember, we don't look at, like, guides or whatever. Like, I don't know, what it is that people usually do or what they're supposed to do. We tend to just figure it out. All right. So this one is done. So it's another 670 in the bank. People who use weak auras. Weak auras. Weak auras are for weak people. Oh, well, that's a joke, but yeah, we definitely don't do that. I mean, how would that work? Like, I guess it would just tell you on screen, like, which is what's bad and what's not, instead of having to use your camera to, look for yourself. So I can see that. That's lazy. Yeah, that's hella lazy. Holy shit. Demon Hunters are coming to Void Elves. Did they say if Nightborn get them too, or is it that 2 races from the Alliance get it, only 1 from the Horde? Yes. Only Alliance are getting it. And they acknowledged as much. So we'll see what happens later on. Because, like, for Void Elves, the story's written on how Void Elf Demon Hunters can become a thing. I get that. Nightborn, no, though, because Nightborn never became Demon Hunter. Yeah, Nightborn never became Demon Hunters in the first place. They were in the bubble. So they're just kind of doing their own thing for like 10,000 years while, later on during the events of the Burning Crusade or I'm sorry, Warcraft 3 and then Burning Crusade is, Elden becomes a Demon Hunter, teaches a bunch of dudes and does a thing. So Nightborn were just never involved with it. When the story's written, then the story's written. And maybe we'll agree or maybe not, but once it is, then it's canon, and there's no going back from that. Whee. And Blood Elf Demon Hunters are going to be able to become, they'll be able to use the Devour Spec too, so they at least can do it. You like the safe spot in mid? I would have liked it too. I think it would have been easier, but I think I guess just moving in the one direction would help. But it's like we end up shifting over anyway, around the 30% mark. But that still works out. It died. That's the most important thing, right? It's dead. We find it with Draenei Demon Hunters of Orcs got them too. I wonder though, like, I can't. It's hard to see a vision where you had like this really wide, okay, everyone can become demon hunters, because how do you write an individual story where all these races are like, you know what, there's nothing left for me, I'm gonna sacrifice everything and I'm going to embrace the fell? What sort of scenario makes that happen? I can see it for individual races, but how do you you know, what sort of story do you write for all the races to become demon hunters? That's pretty bleak, right? Because that's what demon hunters are. They're very bleak. I've sacrificed everything. Oh. Oh, that's not it. Where's my... There it is. Boom. All right. Let's go. Can see a former Eridar joining demon hunters using the powers they got as slaves of the Legion to battle them. That could be a thing. There are emo individuals in all races. Yes, there are emo individuals in all races. But, you know, how do you get them? Yeah, how do you really nail all of them? They could have been training for a while and now they're ready to battle. Yeah, but what made them want to do it in the first place? That's the thing. Like, Demon Hunter, those who chose to become Demon Hunter, okay. Those who became Demon Hunters felt like they ran out of choices. They ran out of options. So what would be like the defining event that would do it for them? You know, because it's like, by the time Legion is over, the demon threat is like all but gone, right? So they need to sell it pretty hard to be like, okay, since the events of Legion and since the Legion attacked, races of all from all walks of life, and even then it's not even all of them, because Nightborn weren't around for that. They weren't around for the events of Legion. But we can try to write the story of, you know, races who existed during Legion. They, you know, some of them were slaughtered, families destroyed, blah blah blah, and those people, they're like, no, fuck everything, I'm gonna sacrifice everything so I can stick it to the demons. But then by the time they like train, but even in the middle of their training or whatever, the war was over, but they kept going anyway. But then now they get introduced like years and years later. That seems, I don't know. Last Titan is a soft reset for WoW? Why was it, who said that the Last Titan is a soft reset for WoW? So that's my whole thing on Demon Hunters. Like, they felt like they had no choice, and Demon Hunters were the only way out. Kind of like with Death Knights. You don't willingly become a Death Knight. There's no Death Knight school. You know, you're not gonna see Dracthyr going up to Thalassian or whoever and be like, yo, I want to become a Death Knight. And then they'll look at these Dracthyr being like, is he serious? Why? I don't like life. I'm not interested in this. I want to embrace something else. I'd be like, oh, okay, sure. This guy's kind of weird. If anything, the Death Knights would be like, you know what? We're going to say no because clearly you're imbalanced. If you want to become a Death Knight. Fourth Age Death Knights chose to be Death Knights. Well, okay, so what I mean by that is you don't have a living person, going up to a death knight and saying, hey, make me a death knight. Like what happened with pretty much with, okay, not that, but with the Bolvar generation of death knights, like they were risen up first and then they're given the choice, hey, do you want to fight or do you want to just like go back to oblivion? And they're like, no, we want to stick it to them and fight. There is that. So I guess I should walk that back like a little bit, but you don't have a living person going up to Death Knight being like, hey, I wanna join. The allied race ones, yes? No, they were raised too. Okay, you'll have to point me in the direction for that, because I don't recall an instance where a person was, went up to the Death Knights and be like, oh yeah, just let me in. Because I'm pretty sure when when you made a new Death Knight and then you should just show up like on top of Ice Crown, like they were raised. They weren't they were killed already and then raised, not, hey, I just want to become a Death Knight or something. Yeah, because I would have remembered that. That's yeah. Somehow that flew in. Can someone cite that? Reminds you of Undead DKs. You're a farmer in Tirisfal, your home's destroyed, you become a hero, then die fighting Lich King, so it makes you a zombie. Then Sylvanas frees you, and now you're a free world zombie. Then the Lich King attacks again, raises you again as a Death Knight, life sucks, and then you die, and then like, yeah. A few NPCs in Korthia, apart from Bolvar's crew, even mentioned choosing to be Death Knights, but that could just be Shadowlands writing. Apart from Bolvar's crew mentioned, I'll need to look for that. For now, I'm gonna go with my current comprehension that, there is no Death Knight fraternity that, the living willingly joined. Just kill me. I think I prefer this death thing. I did this one right. Yeah. I only got 13 minutes left, but we'll do a quick check to see if there's a trading post thing, and if not, then cool. Blitz can only go one route with this. There was a whole generation of Azerothian teenagers that were kids during Legion. They grew up to be super emo because they saw all those heroic demon hunters, so that's why they became demon hunters. Yes. Obviously. I think all that needs to be... I think the story that would be written, if they're going to do like an everyone can become a demon hunter thing, would be, just some big Legion-esque event that affects a whole lot of people. Again. They're back! Argus was only a setback kind of energy. And like some huge tragic thing, a massive loss of life. Could be something like a big expedition goes out into space. Big tragedy. The people who were left, like they weren't fighters. They were just like scientists, researchers, blah 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 blah. And because all their friends and family died on this expedition, like they had the only way to survive out in the twisty nether was to become demon hunters and embrace that shit. That'd be one way to do it. It would be like this kind of isolated story. Ta-da! But mechanomes would definitely volunteer. They would be the one exception. Yo, we can be dead? Oh, haven't tried that yet. Yeah, so I lump mechanomes into a very special group. You know, they've already lost most of their everything. What's a little bit more? Killing the leader in a way makes the Legion worse. Now they're destroying the groups, all fighting each other together in the legacy, but now they're unpredictable. They have no one set goal anymore. I mean, at least the past couple of years, it's also demonstrated that they can't be like an actual threat. Because they don't have, you know, they're not organized enough to like try and attack Azeroth again. I mean, they could. I don't think every race should be demon hunters, just because most players want to, especially if it doesn't make sense lore-wise. Yeah, like I've been saying, the story needs to be written, and I made an example of how that can possibly work. But it needs to touch on the whole, hey, I'm desperate, I have no other choice sort of vibe. Mechanon propaganda. Like, I don't think I'd ever seriously play one, but I'm a fan of their flexibility. And just like the whimsical, like, our bodies are it's just flesh and metal, but mostly flesh for now. I find that idea cool. Not just yet, but give them time for a new leader to emerge. Could be. I mean, they are like, it is an intergalactic organization that's been, you know, more or less shattered. So, like, how do you get that back? I don't think you'll get all of them back. I find them to be adorably disturbed beings with mechanical limbs. Beans, you say? Well, I'll take that. Okay, can I finish this in 8 minutes if I actually try? I doubt it. Still a lot of flying. The head and body just looks like a Fall Guys bean character. Okay, I barely know what Fall Guys is. They just look like goofy gnomes with chrome domes. So I'm going to end up with about less than 800. Approximately 800. No. 900. That's pretty good. Like another day of this and I'll pretty much have met all my goals and I can like wrap this up. Oh, what's the guild name again? Prisoners of Warcraft is who we are. Cousin had an 8-year-old that when the game went big, so we all played it for like 1,000 hours. Damn.
The null presence is a blight upon our lands, festering, growing. It is time we put an end to this.
Wait, what game is this? 1,000 hours, holy smokes. Okay, so my top speed here is like 900. Now I'll try to remember, like, what's the top speed over in Cadillac? So 928. I could have swore, like, fast skywriting is here and in more within zones, and then the slower speed is in, you know, Eastern Kingdom, you know, basically everywhere else. Have I seen the new 3D Vampire Survivors game? No. The 3D Vampire Survivors game? I mean, part of the charm is it being a 2D version. I mean, if I'll only play it if it has garlic and like the tree. Oh, we got AK for the mug now. Oh, hey, that's money still. Yeah, that's something. Okay, so okay, one more Nazareth smoke. Been deep into Guild Wars 2 lately, in between all my wowing. Haven't played in about 9 years, and holy, there are layers to it now. Yeah, I remember I tried playing it a few years ago, and I just wasn't quite feeling it with the gameplay. It just felt like, yeah, something about it just didn't feel great. The buttons didn't feel impactful or something like that. I don't have a good explanation. Oh, Fall Guys. That's right. That's right. Yeah, what's Fall Guys again? That's like kind of the not party game, but that's the one where you have like a bunch of people and you're trying to get from point A to point B, and then there's all these obstacles and shit, right? Oh wait, duh. All right, 4 minutes. 4 minutes. How much can I get done in 4 minutes? Not much. Okay, so it is slower. 789. Okay. My bad. Oh, totally overshot, I think. Oh, I totally missed. Oh, I killed off a thing too early. But it should be here. Now after ringing the deeps. Okay, I'm still smelling that barbecue stuff. Who? It's Wednesday. Who barbecues on a Wednesday? You're saving some of those. So where do those mugs come from? Do they just is those things that come from the event? You can argue Boulevard touch their spirits and give them a choice to stay dead or become dead. Oh, I mean that's that's exactly what happened, right? Okay, hungry now. Well, at least I got my my hunger pains are gone. Not feeling that. So I'm totally cool with the salad for today. From the boss bag. Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. I should have been getting onto other characters to see if I haven't gotten any of those yet. I've just been getting, you know, a spattering of Brewfest tokens. And that was it. I guess I'll sell what I can. But I'm not going to expect much. That's a lot. How many characters have you been blowing through? It sounds like you've been doing a lot. 30 tunes. That's a lot of characters. That's a lot. I mean, it's a quick queue, kind of. And if you're doing like a work from home thing, then it's like, that's not so bad. Back up we go. I feel like it would have been more efficient if I like go to Ajkahet. Maybe I'll try that. I'll try something a little different. I have a feeling I'm going to regret this. No, I don't want to do that. I hate climbing back up from Ajkahet. That feels annoying to me. Now, I noticed that too. Well, I didn't notice that kind of speed. Like, it dies fast. A dire brew dies pretty quick, but I didn't run into the situation where it's like, okay, you load in, and then the fight's, like, pretty much already over. I feel like that's people just being jackasses and not, like, at least waiting for everyone to get there. Like, yeah, that's kind of rude. Well, I have a life. I have a life. I got a wife and kids, and I gotta get this done fast. Yeah.
Someone didn't get the message. These are earthen resources. We need you to mount a defense.
You still got credit at least? Okay. Like, did you loot, or did you? Oh, what did that stuff just show up in your mailbox? Like, how did that work? And no trading post stuff. All right. You looted it. Okay. I think I remember seeing one or two folks saying that they weren't able to loot it. I don't know what happened if they checked the mailbox or whatnot, but still sucked though. Yeah, weird luck where we were stuck grinding wheat, and when I was released, the event ended and we got no loot or anything. I was, of course, very disappointed, and cursed Blizzard for releasing another sloppier programmed event. Oh, that sucks. I did a bunch of them. I did not run into that same problem, so that stinks. Clearly, it's your fault. I'm just asking. Where is it? That way. That's right. We go here. There we go. I just went in a full circle, didn't I? Alright, so where do I happen to be right now? I happen to be at 881. So I'll be able to get like a little over 900. So that'll do some serious damage. That's not bad. You grinded too good. Stop being so good. The event had massive lag, no bags 50% of the time. Sometimes the event just bugs and the boss doesn't come. Oh man, that's wild. I mean, I was playing for the first few hours when it was, I'm going to say it was, pretty damn busy. I didn't run into any of that. That's crazy. The boss keeps coming for hours? Wait, what boss? Is there a boss? I thought you were just making stuff. What am I doing on a warrior? I'm on a druid, actually. But maybe the soup type boss in the end? The Brewfest event monkey? Oh, I never saw it. Yeah. Yeah, never saw a monkey. What makes that spawn? I guess that's because that's that's what I get for only seeing it for the first 3 hours, because I haven't seen anything since. And we're doing a roulette. Why not? Let's take my gold one last time before stream ends. Brilliant. All right, Druid, show me what you got. And boop. Okay, the helmet didn't change. That's so weird. Oh well, it's still terrible. It's like super. You actually have to work together, but it's also yeah, like you can just farm for mobs and like that's it. Like I ended up doing that a few times, and you know, and that filled up the bar all the way. But yeah, I don't remember seeing a boss. Oh, I guess I'll mess around with that and see if it pops up later on. But anyway, for now, off I go. No, yeah, I still have no video stuff planned, so I might just be like taking it easy this week, knowing that it's going to be like really crazy starting next week. So you guys have a great rest of your day. May your loots be merry, and I'll see y'all for the next thing. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and as always, stay